money machine. Scalp in seconds, slicing fast. Ride the wave, don't let it pass. Green and red, they set the tone. Win or lose, I'm in the zone. Trade the dark, connect the line, profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, sharp and clean, living life on this money machine. Every tick's a heartbeat loud. High stakes play, I'm feeling proud. Risk and thrill, it's all the same. One more trade to up my game. Pivots turn, I'm locked and sure. Cut the losses, keep it pure. Every trend I see the clues. I'll ride the highs and dodge the blues. Pivots turn, I'm locked and sure. Cut the losses, keep it pure. Every trend I see the clues. I'll ride the highs and dodge the blues. Yeah, this money machine. Yeah, this money machine. Yeah. Every tick's a heartbeat loud. High stakes play, I'm feeling proud. Hey, I'm feeling proud. Money machine. Every tick's a heartbeat loud. High stakes play, I'm feeling proud. Risk and thrill, it's all the same. One more trade to up my game. Perfect. Eyes locked on the glowing screen. Numbers flash like a fevered dream. Charts align like stars in space. Fingers twitch, it's a digital race. Trade the dots, connect the line, profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, sharp and clean, living life on this money machine. Scalp in seconds, slicing fast. Ride the wave, don't let it pass. Green and red, they set the tone. Win or lose, I'm in the zone. Trade the dark, connect the line, profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, sharp and clean, living life on this money machine. Every tick's a heartbeat loud. High stakes play, I'm feeling proud. Risk and thrill, it's all the same. One more trade to up my game. Pivots turn, I'm locked and sure. Cut the losses, keep it pure. Every trend I see the clues. I'll ride the highs and dodge the blues. Pivots turn, play. I'm feeling I'm feeling proud. Money machine. Every tick's a heartbeat loud. High stakes play. I'm feeling proud. Risk and thrill, it's all the same. One more trade to up my game.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Somebody give me a sound check. Let me know if you guys hear me okay, if all is good. Let me know how life is going. Good morning, Fabio. Good morning, Peter, Santiago. Hi, everybody. Hi. We're starting the show. Marathon Wednesday. I'm a little groggy. You can hear me a little bit. We are moving on to our next level. I have passed I actually have one more left, all my evaluations. So we are literally, all these accounts are all real accounts now. We have like 25,000, another 25,000, 3 25,000s, 1, 2, 3, 4 25,000s, and then 350s, 150, 250, 350. I passed them all. Coaching is tomorrow. I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it, so you can have a good time with it. And then on wealth charts, same thing. We actually have just one wealth charts account this is a now full payout account. This is payout. So only one account that is left. That's is that right? Is this 110? Yeah. That we just need to eval. We're going to trade S&P on the wealth charts. We're going to trade NASDAQ on my Trade of 8, and anything else that you guys want to think about, do anything is fine. Rob, how are you? Good morning. So, early in the morning, let's set ourselves up a little bit about some of the things that we do. First of all, let me just kind of, and I'll show this during every hour just to get people understanding what we're looking for. There's like 4 components that we look for. And I make adjustments, but these are the general rules. And as always, rules are flexible. But the basic rules for how we trade is rule number 1, we try to find trend direction. So the short-term moving average goes against the long-term moving average. I gotta set up here, guys. So I am going to take this. Actually, let me do this. The problem with me explaining is that when you're trading live, you just have to go. We're going to sell this. All right, I'm short this thing. So we short NASDAQ here. See if we can make 4 points on the scalp. What's my target? 27.7. I'll explain to you exactly why I sold this right now. Good job. All right, first trade of the day done. Nice scalp. This is a really beautiful scalp. Exactly the kind of scalp that I want. But going back to what we do. Trend direction, number 1, short-term versus long-term. Momentum, you need a green dot or a red dot as far as momentum. Momentum slope is really defined as you want the dot to be lower than the other dot. This rule 3 is absolutely not necessary for what we do. In fact, I break this rule 3 all the time. So it's not really critical. You guys don't see it. Oh, you guys didn't see me doing the trade, right? I just realized you guys didn't see me doing the trade. Okay. And then moving average slope, which is the slope of the moving average. So let me actually take you back to the trades. Hold on a second. Let me take you back here. I'll show you exactly what I did here. Let's see execution labels here. Okay. So how do we put all of this together as a trade? Very simple. If we're going to trade it in the order of direction, in the order of the big trend, we only take short trades because the short-term trend is below the long-term trend. We don't do that. We can actually trade both ways, counter trend and trend. But if you really want to be very specific about it, we're only going to trade trend, right? So that's the first setup. The second setup that I'm looking for, this is really kind of super nuanced, and this is what I wanted to show you as kind of the new things that I'm starting to do. What we actually want to do is we want to look for the short-term moving average to change its slope, right? That's are the best, juiciest trades. The highest probability trades are the ones that happen just when the moving average changes its slope from one direction to the next. So in this case, you can see that the moving average changes the slope from green to red, right? It establishes a new short-term downward move, right? But this is not what we take the trade. What we really, really want to see is one or two candles just sitting on that slope. What I really, really want to see is one or two candles participating on the red slope. The slope doesn't change. I'd like the slope to stay red or green for at least one candle, but ideally maybe two or three, right? And then the final piece of what we want is we want a combination of no dot, red dot if we're going on the short side, or no dot, green dot if we're going on the long side, which is why this was the perfect trade. You had 1, 2, 3 candles under the red slope. You had let me take off the if I take off all the executions, you'll see this. You had 3 candles on the red slope. You had no dot candle and a dot candle. So you had a pause and a resumption of momentum to the downside. This is what we're looking for. This was our entry, right? And this is exactly where I entered. And you can see right there, boom, boom. It took a whopping 10 seconds. The trade is done. We're scalping for very, very short points. We're scalping for 4 points in NQ, and we're scalping for 3/4 of a point in ES. Okay, and if we're going to do a little bit of gold, we're scalping for 0.8 in gold. Okay, so we're looking for very, very small, consistent, but multiple opportunities during the day. The idea is, in a perfect day, we should have at least 3 trades an hour doing this, and we should be able to hit them all. Okay, we're gonna we'll talk a little bit about wealth charts in just 1 second. So just as everybody understand the structure and the setup, this is really, really important in terms of getting the trade done, which is I really want 1 or 2 setup, and then the sort of the final thing that that I think is, if you only want to take the super high probability trades, is you just kind of want to do only 2 trades per slope slice, per 2 trades per each slope movement, because that gives you almost the highest probability of trade success, right? If you were to, I wonder if I could flip this over. Could I flip this up? No, I can't. So in this case, I showed you the perfect, downward trade, right? What would be? Let's see if you guys can tell me. Is this the trade that I would take? This white dot trade under the conditions that I described for you. Is this the trade that I would take? Give me a yes or a no. Let's see if you guys understand what I'm trying to tell you. Yes, no? Anybody want to guess no? Haha. That was a trick question, Fabio. So yes, that's a great looking trade. But here's a critical element that I introduced into my setup that eliminates this possibility. I remember what I said. I want at least 1, ideally maybe 2 or 3 candles on the green slope before I even consider a setup. So I would have given up the setup. It worked. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it worked. The rule is, so my setup would have been only on this candle. I would have only been here. This barely made my target, but it was you came in at, was it 75, and it did go up to 80. So you made the 4 points. But that's not the point. The point was that this is the quality setup that you want. Right, exactly. Peter says no. Gaetana says no. You guys are all absorbing the the setup as it's properly done, right? So now a lot of people asking me, first of all, how do I get the wealth charts on the dots on my wealth charts? So let's go to wealth charts. We're gonna work the wealth charts now a little bit in terms of structure. So by the way, here's a great example of us starting to analyze the trade. This is the S&P 500, right? And we are sorry, what's going on over here? Okay. And we are just starting our green slope. The short-term moving, this is a counter trend trade. The short-term green slope, the short-term slope is turning green. This is not a trade. It's not a trade because we want at least one or two, ideally 3 candles just to establish a short-term trend and then establish the trade. First establish the trend, then establish the trade. This gives us the proper pause to have confidence that there actually is a counter trend going on instead of just a single false possible breakout, right? Now this may work. This may very well work, and it may hit target. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is we're not looking for may work. We're looking for will work, and the best way for us to have will work is when we have an established trend. You can see over here, this was an established trend. Here's a red dot, no dot. I short this trade. Boom, done. Right. That's the rule set that makes it a lot easier to trade. Any questions on the setup as I outlined it for you? Okay. If not, let's just understand how we go into wealth charts. So imagine you're in wealth charts. Just pull up the S&P 500. You don't have this indicator on, but I want you to go in here and say add indicators. Once you go into add indicators, you go to the marketplace. More indicators. You see my name. If you don't see my name, email me because I have asked Rob to set you guys up. Maybe they've been super busy with the wealth charts. Maybe they still haven't done so. So if you're listening to me right now, you are a Boris coaching customer. You've gotten my coaching product, and you've sent me your email address, and you still don't have this. You click on Boris Landsberg, and you don't see BFF dots. Just email me, contact BK Trader. And we will add you to the list and make sure that you're done by the end of the day. Okay, but that is it. So now you just simply click BFF dots only, and the indicator will come on to the chart, and that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do for wealth charts. Okay. Any other questions on how to do wealth charts, guys? Okay, so let's watch S&P. Let's watch NAS. No setups for us now because it's just starting to run. But what's it's interesting. We've really been just kind of mildly bid actually. We're a little bit selling off over here, but we've been just kind of mildly bid here on equities, top 10 basis points or so. I don't know what we have on the calendar. I don't think we have anything on the calendar. What do we have on the calendar? We have a whole bunch of FOMC talk, but literally no data today at all. It's all going to be super quiet, right? Just looking here, really no U.S. data at all today. So, we're just going to trade price action, and we'll see how things go. It could be a kind of quiet day. And one of the great things about this particular setup is that we hopefully not going to fall for too many false moves. Remember, the thing that kills us, what we really don't want. Well, I think I can do it on the wealth charts. I wonder if I can do this. If I go hold H, no. I wonder how I do the. Okay, let's try this. Drawing tools lines, horizontal line. Click on chart to exert. Okay. All right. And I guess I can move it. So what we really, really hate as far as price action, I wonder if I can move this now. Yeah. Is, I wonder if I could do, can I duplicate this? Yeah. Copy, duplicate, right? Okay, cool. Is really flat markets like this, because then we get a lot of false signals. We get a lot of false signals. But one of the great things about this new version of the setup that I'm showing you is its very nature is designed to filter out false signals. So hopefully we're not getting too many false signals. Right now we have no signals. We're just chilling out, doing nothing, waiting for the for the candle to come in. So Kuza, Georgia, you were asking me, do you have were you able, Georgie, were you able to get the wealth dots to load this on there? Do you see it on your wealth charts? Oops, what happened to my session? I got disconnected. Okay. So I'll keep this over here. This kind of keeps you in the game as to what's going on here. If you guys want, we it's definitely a quiet day, and I don't mind. My wealth charts is going nuts now. My wealth charts is going nuts. All right, guys, stay tight. I'm going to come in on a different. This is sort of the problem. Stay tight, guys. I will be back. I'll be back. Hey guys, give me a sound check. Let me know if you guys hear me okay. Sorry, we are we're having a little bit of an issue here, so I need to make sure that that I have you guys set up. Just this thing is crashing. Give me a yes, no. You guys hear me okay? Let's make sure that we see the screen. I'm gonna share the screen with you in just 1 second. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to go over here. Okay, sound is okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, just bear with me a second here, guys. Okay. All right, hold on. Sorry, I just need to, I want to make sure that I'm doing this. Okay. All right, let's do this way. Okay, hang tight, guys. Okay, I'm going to do this over here. Okay, we're going to take this off. All right, just one sec. Share screen, window, this. All right, tell me if you guys see the screen now. You should be able to see the screen. Okay. Are we good? Everybody seeing the screen? Sorry, I had to transfer over to my. Oh, this is like, I don't like the screen. It's too small. Let me just see if I can change this a little bit here. I wonder if I could do it this way. No, this way. Huh. Ugh. Okay, stay with me, guys. Stay with me. Stay with me. I need to do. I want to make sure I'm getting the screen right. Okay, this is what I want to do. I want this. No, that's not. Is that right? Let's see if I get this. Media assets. Okay. No, the screen is still small. Why is this? It's still a small screen, guys. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, let's try this. Hang on. Hang on. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, that's better. Now you guys seeing the full screen, right? That's a little bit better. And I'm just going to see me turning around a lot, but that's the gist, right? Screen is better now for you guys. Just give me a yes here to make sure that I'm seeing everything okay here. Yeah, I think the screen is a lot better now. Okay. All right. Now let's try wealth charts. Let's see how wealth charts is showing. There's clearly something wrong with my computer there on that side of it. That it starts to crash every time I'm starting to do this. Okay, we're going to log into wealth charts. Come on, what's going on here? Logging in. Okay. It's super slow here. What's going on here? My PC is so much slower than my Mac. Okay, we're looking a little sharper now. Okay. So we didn't miss any price action, which is cool. That's the good part. Hang on a second. Sorry, guys. Let me just do one other thing. Just bear with me a second here. Bear with me a second here. All right, I seeing you guys. Somebody just give me a sound check, mic check, say hello to me in comments. I just want to make sure I'm seeing everything okay. And then looking at the screens. Okay, this is as big a screen as you guys are going to get today. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. The computer that for some reason my Mac just crashes every time on this thing. And I don't know if it's wealth charts, and I don't know if it's Tradeovate, but it's making my Mac crash. and I got to figure that out. It's really annoying because I like to broadcast from the Mac, not from the PC. But you know, for the next few days, it's not going to matter because I'm going to be in Jersey and I'll be working from there. But anyways, all right, you know, we're good to go. This is, you know, the screen is good. It's good enough for you to be able to see everything. Yes, yes. Give me a big yes that you can see everything. That you can see both trading view and this. So let's look at what's going on here right now. We get trading view is the oh God, you guys are not seeing trading view? Why is this not? Oh yeah, you're seeing trading view. Okay, you're good. Okay, right. Okay. Good morning. Sorry, we're having, as usual, a little bit of technical difficulties because something is wrong with my Mac, and it's not performing. So it seems to be crashing off of my. There's some kind of I think video driver problem that for some reason is crashing my Mac every time I'm in the trade here in wealth charts. So I don't know what we're gonna do. We have to do something different. Maybe I'll use a different browser. I wonder if I use a different browser in wealth charts. I'm actually, hang tight. Since we got no trades, guys, hang tight. Let me try something. I'm gonna try something different, and you know, and we'll see. You know, let me just see if I can control it from a different computer. Just bear with me a second, guys. I'll be right back. No, it's just my Mac really cracked. My Mac really crashes on this thing. That's really weird. Okay. You went on the white dot in the NQ. Why would you go on the white dot in the NQ? Like, why is this a trade? Oh, because you thought it was a great. Okay, so here's one reason why. I mean, it worked for you, right? But here's another reason why I wouldn't have done this trade. What we want always is green dot, green candle, or white dot, green candle, right? We want the three things to be always green when we're going long. We want the slope to be green. We want the candle to be green. We want the dot to be green or white. Let's just say that, right? In this case, you had the candle that was red. It was underneath the slope. It wasn't a trade. But yeah, I'm glad it worked for you. But again, I wouldn't have taken this trade. Yes, I'm gonna explain the indicator, Young Lou. It's very simple. All we do is trade short-term direction with momentum as our helper. And the way we do this is using my proprietary indicator, my dots only indicator. And as you can see, it's comprised of a very simple system: a long-term moving average, which is a 200-period SMA. Short-term moving average was an 8-period SMA. We're trading the 2-minute chart. We're always trading 2-minute chart. These are the target points that we try to go for in our trades. Okay, let me just see what the S&P is, what the NASDAQ is doing, or the S&P is doing. Okay, interesting. S&P is actually negative slope, but starting to get positive dots, right? Okay, so the setup is really easy once you understand the basic technique. We want everything to align in our favor. And the first thing we always look for is the slope of the short-term moving average. If it's not green to the upside, if we're trading the upside and it's not green, we don't even consider the trade. Okay? So like right now, we have green dots, but the slope is still red, still negative, still sloping downward. Not a trade for us at all. This thing has to turn green in order for us to even begin considering a trade. And then once we begin to consider a trade, what we really want, the perfect trade that we want, is the following. Here's a slope that turns red, right? And we want at least one candle to just be red underneath the slope, right? So it's not a trade. And then if we get the sequence that we have over here, no dot, no momentum, that's when we go. This is our entry, boom, slice, we kill it. That's our trade. And we like to do no more than 2 trades per per slice, right? So in this particular case, we would have actually been short on this one as well. It would have been a little bit against us. You know, it would have been, it's 37 against 47, would have been able to just kind of hold off, but eventually it dropped down and fell on our trade. So that's also how we do. So very, very simple setup, and you'll see tons of them today as we trade marathon day, when and if they set up. So far, we've only had like 2 setups that occurred. We had one in the S&P, one in NASDAQ. Which account did we do this in? Was it the 110 account? I'm trying to remember which account I just traded this in. I think so. Where's trying to remember like where on what does it show trade? Oh my god, I'm totally lost now. Symbol info. You guys remember what the setting is on wealth charts that says show me your trade history? Turn history on. That's it. Okay. Oh, I know what it was. It's MESU. That's why we're on the micros. Okay, let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so anyways, no setups for us right now. Nothing really much happening. It's very, very quiet. So we just watch the markets and hang out. What is this tick size for NQ? What does that mean? What is a tick size for NQ? You mean like what are the stops and targets on NQ? It's 1664. 16 ticks target, 64 stop right over here. You can actually see this a little bit if you zoom in. Is that the question? Okay, yeah. So we're very, very tight. You can see the slope is actually switching between red and green, red and green, and red and green, and the candles are going actually opposite of the slope. This is like a very interesting situation where we're kind of alternating between the slope and the movement here, without really giving us any kind of. I'll get this a little bit bigger. Is this a little bit better? Did you guys see? Is this a little bit better as a bigger? I'm working off of a really fat chart here. Let me see if I can do the same thing on this. Is that a little bit better? That you guys can see this a little bit sharper? Give me a yes or no. Hey Rick, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Give me a yes or no, guys, on this. Let me know if it's good. Okay. All right. So this is the S&P. It's not really a great setup, but it's more or less an okay setup for me. The slope is green. There was one, you could make the argument, this is the one candle that was in the green slope already. And so now we have a white dot. This is a red dot. we can take a trade that is either no dot or red dot, white dot. That's certainly allowed. The big thing that the big thing that makes me hesitate about this trade, but it's going to be a small trade. We're going to trade all small today. Is that it's let me just make sure that I have the setups correctly. Yes. Yeah, we're going to go buy market. Okay, so we bought this, and right away I'm in loss. And the reason why right away I'm in loss is because the thing that made me hesitate is that it didn't look like this trend really held. I said I really want at least one quality candle on the green slope. You can see me over here, right? I'm just moving my cursor around. This really was problematic because this really wasn't the green slope. This was sort of like a green-red slope. So this would be the first candle. So the real true trade here would be to wait for a couple of candles, a signal to occur, and take the trade. I took a trade, and I'm definitely going to get stopped. This is actually a really good example of why I introduced this rule, and why breaking this rule is going to result in probably a stop out for me as we go along. Because if this trade wins, it's going to be a pure luck trade. What it's going to happen, it's going to take a couple more candles, and it eventually will confirm our setup. This is me taking the setup too early. You can see this on the NASDAQ the same way. If you really want to truly get the best, highest chance of success, you have to be patient enough to wait for the trend to establish itself. The trend has not established itself on the slope, right? As a matter of fact, I'm definitely going to get stopped out on this thing, right? We're almost at stop out. It's almost good that we get stopped out because it's a good lesson to learn of not breaking this rule, right? Fortunately, it's tiny little trades. I don't give a shit. But and I'm going to do small trades with you primarily today, especially on the wealth charts part of it. This is much cleaner, right? Good. Thank you. I'm glad you guys can see it a little bit better. Both charts are a lot cleaner, right? Okay. So it looks like I think I got stopped out on the S&P trade. Cancel. I don't want to support. No, I don't want to see support center. Yes, I'm sure. Okay. I just don't want any that lines. So yeah, things are a little bit quiet. One of the cool things about wealth charts that we can do that's really nice is we can open up multiple tabs with wealth charts. And we can because it's a little bit quiet today, we can also look at gold. And because we're very selective today on our setups, we can definitely trade gold as well. So for those of you guys who want to trade gold with me, we'll trade gold as well. Let's go 110. It's taking a long time to paint. Hold on a second here, guys. What's going on here? Okay, log in. We're coming in. I want to check something out here. No, that's right. I'm on the right trade. Okay. All right. So here we're going to just change it to gold. We're going to go to MGCZ. Gold now is trading. This MGCZ. Gold is trade. December. Let everybody know. Gold is now December as the front month, right? And gold actually would have given us a couple of interesting setups. So we'll definitely trade gold in this configuration as well. Gold is 8 ticks, 32 ticks. Close. Once we set this up right over here, once the brackets are all set. So where would be the gold trade that would have really worked? Right over here where this triangle was. We had 2 or 3 nice clean red candles in the red slope. It would have been short here at whatever that is. What is that? That's 16. And all we needed was 15.2, and it went all the way down to 14. So the gold trade would have definitely been a good trade. S&P is just nothing. It's really like it's giving us false signals everywhere. Same thing with NASDAQ. It's just not doing much. We're just really not not really trading here. So it's fine. We will just wait patiently. So how's everybody doing? Did you guys have anybody pass any prop tests since I last seen you? By the way, I had a great time with my daughter. She was the lead in Mary Poppins, and she goes to this like performing arts camp where like actually a lot of famous people, like when they were younger, went to. A lot of performers go, and she was so. And usually, I am not one to brag about my children's capabilities because I am Russian by birth, so that means I never give compliments. But I gotta say, she was really great, and people came up to her afterwards and said, was she a professional actress? Because she was like literally. I can't say I could say she was almost Broadway worthy, but she was definitely off Broadway worthy in the role. So it was really nice to see that. So that's what I did on my weekend on Monday. That's why I was gone. And then yesterday, Kathy and I had a great time. We went to the New York Stock Exchange. I haven't been there in ages, and saw Peter Tuchman, who's, you guys, I'm sure you've seen on TV 1,000 times, because he's like one of these. He looks like a crazy man, like the Einstein of Broadway. He's been the Einstein of Wall Street. He's been like in the pits for 40 years. And he kind of took us around, showed us their whole operation, which was really interesting to see, and a lot of the stuff that they were doing. And we're going to do something with him. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we're going to have a webinar with him and his partner, who's a really great market maker, David Green. And they're going to share a lot of their trading secrets with you guys. It's all going to be free. So it's going to be coming up at the end of August. So that's what we were coordinating yesterday. So that's why I was away from the screens. But even as I was away from the screens, I came back in the afternoon and managed to bang out an account. So now, as I said, I have like, I think 3 50s, 4 25s, and then 2 25s in wealth. And we're just going to finish up one more wealth account. I'm just watching Gold Seed to see if I can get another trade. So in gold right now, we have a clean red slope, clean red candles. If I can get a red dot candle, that would be a sell signal for me in gold. On the S&P, it's just all choppiness. We're just all choppy. Again, not a trade here. Why is this not a trade? In the S&P, the S&P is not a trade, even though it could have been, is because we haven't really established. This is the first red candle under the red slope, right? So we really only start looking for trades from here, and then from there we need that no dot structure. So by being more selective, yes, sometimes I miss the opportunity to take the first trade that works, but also by being more selective, I don't fall for false breakouts. And I'd rather opt for not taking a false breakout rather than missing one trade out of 1,000 that we're going to have. Okay, so here we're looking at NAS, and NAS is actually truly setting up for us. You can see this over here. Hang on a second. Let me just show you. This is a trade setup for us. If I get a red dot on here, we have 1 minute 15 seconds. If we stay like this is a setup because we have selling pressure, red slope. We have established at least 2 or 3 candles that are on the red side, and we've got the trade, right? So now I just have to be very, very patient to make sure that this configuration stays on the close. If I have this configuration stays on the close, then I am perfectly okay to trade this, okay? And this is a 25,000 account, so I'm going to trade 2 micros on this. If I have a 50,000 account, we're going to trade 5 micros. That's the rules, okay? So we got 29 seconds. Everybody give me a yes or a thumbs up that you understand, you see what I'm doing here with you guys. And we have a setup coming up. 21 seconds left on this trade. 19 seconds. This dot has to hold. The dot goes away, we don't have a trade. If the dot goes away, we don't have a trade. So I'm watching the dot, 8, 9 seconds. And if it goes away, it's not a trade. So we're going to stay very, very patient here. All right, dot stays in place. We are short. Target is going to be 21.25. 21.25 is the target. Right? That's what we're targeting. It looks like we bought one. And now we got to wait to see if we can get the second one executed because it's very, 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 very quiet. So you can see we bought one. We're still floating the second one. The question is, do you want to close out the trade and take the scalp because the price went there, but it just wasn't enough volume for you to get executed? Do you want to stay patient? Because we're trading small, I'll stay patient with a trade and see if we can get the second position executed. But what's really good about all of this is it kind of shows you, because I think Tradeovate and Wealth Charts have both gone to this model where it shows you a much more realistic model of how things work. It's not just, if the price is there, it doesn't mean your trade gets done. You need to have the price and the volume. You need to have desire to absorb your whole volume. That's why when people, do trade copier and they're trading 1,000 contracts, it's never going to happen in real life. You're never going to, if I was doing trade copier here on 10 accounts and trying to get this trade done in these kind of quiet conditions, you would have never gotten this done in the real market. So that's why I always teach you on a single account basis, so you get familiar with what the real markets are like. And then, if you want to introduce trade copy for one or two accounts, 2 or 3 accounts, you could try to do that. But that's why the guys that show you, oh, I have 20 accounts and I just made $2,000 in instant. It's just that's never a realistic story. Anyways, the second trade gets done, and that was a nice, clean, clear trade, right? I'm sure the same setup happened in S&P, but I just couldn't take it because one trade at a time. Let's see what's happening in gold. Let's see if we have a gold trade. No, we don't have anything in gold trade, but gold trade may be setting up to the upside. So we can watch gold right now and see if it, what's happening now is we have an establishment of a green possible wave. And then after we establish the green possible wave, we look for the green possible setup. That's really a good way of thinking about this, right? Everybody understand me? I'm sorry. Are you asking me what's the how can you get these indicator? Very simple. I'm going to put the link in here. Here's the link. I put the link into chat. You guys can click that link. You can become part of my coaching. My coaching, by the way, tomorrow night, Thursday, our regular coaching session. I have some really, really, really cool tips and tricks for you on how to quickly pass your evaluation accounts. I'm going to tell you exactly how I managed to pass like 2 of them in the last 24 hours without too much strain. And I'm going to we're going to talk a lot about all the other intricacies of the setup. So if you guys want this indicator, you'll never find it, you'll never get it, you'll never have access to it unless you're part of my coaching. But when you're part of my coaching, you have it not just on TradingView, but you have it on Wealth Charts as well. So it's an all or nothing offer. Go ahead, go click that, go get it. You get 6 months of this stuff. By the end of it, you're going to be a super trader, as everybody else is in this room. Hey guys, who's listening to me right now? Anybody get funded in the last 2 or 3 days since I've been gone? because we had so many people get funded just before I left. I'm just wondering if anybody else got funded on accounts, or you're working on towards getting funded. Let me know. I'd love to celebrate with you guys. Karen, all the recordings are on the YouTube channel. Okay, everything is recorded. You go to our YouTube channel here. If you want all of every single live that I do, and this is a very good thing for all of you guys to do. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, which by the way, we broke 100,000. How you guys like them apples? We broke 100,000 on the account. So Kathy is getting her plaque. Just go to YouTube Live, and literally every single live that I have in here, Karen, they're all here. So you can watch them to your heart's content. That's what YouTube is for. Okay. The passive prop VIP. That should be that should be in the sorry, I didn't know what you mean. Yeah, that one is in the what do you call it? The passive prop course. And if you don't have the link to that, just email me. You should be enabled for passive prop course. Right. It's in the course, and I sent out that link. So I'll double check. Sorry, I got confused about what you meant. All right, so cool possibility here. Gold is all green zone, got some dots. Now what we would like to see is a no dot structure, and then we're gonna have a possible setup in gold. On the S&P, we're just selling off here. Again, same kind of idea. What we want to see here is we're in a nice deep red zone. There was already one clean trade on the S&P. What we would like to see now is this is a no dot. Can I have a red dot set up? Same thing with NASDAQ, right? Can I have a red dot set up here? We would have a second short trade, right? So far, 8 points in NASDAQ. Let's say a point in the S&P. I'm not gonna count the 3/4. And what am I doing? Oh, and gold. I'm looking for setups. Okay. I may have. It may be on me, Karen. You may be right. If I didn't upload the latest version. 24/7/25, right? Where are we at? What should it have been? Yeah, maybe was August 1 the last Thursday? If I didn't upload it, I will. I thought I uploaded, but I will. And I'll take care of it after the marathon today. Sorry, what does that mean? 8 minus 16 in NQ? What does that mean? Okay, watching NASDAQ turn itself around. So whatever little sell-off we had doesn't have a lot of continuity. Let's see where gold is at. Gold's still not giving us any good clean signals. But I think like one of the things you guys are going to love about this little modification is just how it keeps you out of choppy environments. You really need a setup for trend, setup for slope, and a setup for momentum. All those three things. I didn't have a loss. I had a loss maybe in the S&P, but I'm not counting that because it was a bullshit trade. I didn't have a loss in NASDAQ. NASDAQ was all wins. All my NASDAQ. This is the only account that traded in NASDAQ. It's all wins. 1 win, 2 win. You can literally see it on the chart, Santiago. Jay, what's you saying gold? What does that mean? What are you telling me on the gold? Gold has no signals right now. Who's new in the room, guys? Anybody watching me who's new? Who is either just like watched this once or twice or has never been on the stream? If you've never been on the stream, say hi to me. I'd love to know where you're coming from, what you're doing. Ask me questions. We're chilling out. It's Marathon Wednesday. We're going to do this for like 4 hours. I'm eating my watermelon breakfast because I'm trying to be good and not eat bagels every single day. I'm chilling out. Rick, you're new. Wait, I really? Which Rick? I have so many Ricks. Where are you from, Rick? Denmark. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Guitar Tech. I thought that was like your actual name. Okay, Mr. Guitar. Mike. Okay, Mike. Nice to have you here. Who has traded? Oh, Argentina. We love Argentina. Really, I dying to go to Buenos Aires, Rick. I'm a huge Milei fan. I love Argentina. I will be coming. I promise you. I will make the trip over there. Not and you know, for the food, for the candy, for the people, for the culture, I absolutely want to go there. Hey, Steve, isn't it like is Calgary on? Are you guys on the West Coast? Like, what time is it in Calgary? Isn't it so freaking ridiculously early right now? Or am I mixing it up? Is Calgary like mid Canada? You're not on the West Coast, are you? Like it's mid Canada, right? 5 a.m. Right. It's 5 a.m. and it's like 7. So you're 2 hours behind us. You are. Everybody here is a true degenerate to have to come hang out with me this early. Oh, nice to have you. You watch Kathy YouTube videos. You are a newbie forex trader. Okay, so nice to have you. What we do here is very different. We trade. What do you call it? We trade. Sorry, I'm just distracted because I'm just watching so many screens on my computer. I really hate trading from this computer. We trade stock index futures. We trade S&P, NASDAQ, and gold here. Those are the three main things we do. It's a very different product from forex. Hope you guys like it. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. We're back to green zone in the indices, right? Back to green zone in the indices. Let's see what happens here. We don't have a setup because we need a no dot setup, but at least we're kind of trying to establish maybe a little bit of a green trend here because we see a little bit of a nice green slope, 2-3 candles on the green. We may have some possibilities here on the trade. Yeah, Portugal is nice. This is why I do this for the Europeans. Hey, Winnie, nice to have you from Texas. Where are you from in Texas? And you're only allowed to say 4 places because it's the only 4 places anybody ever knows. You're only allowed to say Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, or Houston. Where are you closest to? Because people from the East Coast only know those 4 places out of Texas. Yes, we're trading. We're trading gold on the futures basis. We're trading the GC gold. When you're trading gold, by the way, from your broker, this is what they're trading. They're trading this. Oh, so this is interesting, guys. So we actually have a setup in gold. You see this white dot? It's actually legit. I'm going to buy this gold trade right here. Let me see, make sure I'm on the right side. Yeah, did I buy this? Okay. So I bought the gold trade here. Our target is 18.6. Stop is 14.6 over here. It's not beautiful. It's not fully I don't like the fact that there's a red candle behind it. But if you look at how this trade is setting up, what you see here is we had all the elements we wanted. We had green can. We had at least 1 or 2 green candles on a green slope. We had the green slope, and we had a white dot, which is just a green dot that's coming from a lower place. So all of that is kind of legit. I didn't like the fact that we kind of sold off on this, but not every one of these trades is going to work. But at least this kind of a setup over here, fully legitimate setup. We'll see if it works out. It's gold, so by very definition, it's always going to torture us. On the other hand, very, very clean, perfect setup on the S&P. So let's do the S&P here, and we're going to trade that. Let me make sure I have this. Yeah, very clean, and it's also going to be, I'm sure, the same clean setup on NASDAQ. We're going to have to just wait very, very carefully to make sure the candle closes before we take the trade. So 3, 2, 1, boom, we're in. Target is 43.25 on the S&P. Let's see if we can get that done. Why is this? I don't know. History is on. I don't know why it's not. I forgot what is the setting, guys, who's in wealth charts where we where you can actually see. I have trade history on, right? So why is this not showing the entry on here on the mark? Or maybe do I have this wrong? Oh, I had it the wrong way. I had it turned off. Okay, so now you can see it turned on. So like this is the mark of the trade. All right. Now in the meantime, let's go to NASDAQ, and big pop on the NASDAQ. I'm going to go long NASDAQ because my entry here is better than it would have been on my signal. So if I have a better entry than it is on my signal, I definitely want to go. So again, let's review why am I on the NASDAQ position. I'm in here because I've had a couple of candles that were green on the slope. The slope is green. I had a no dot trade, and I actually got a better entry than I would have on the close because the candle kind of slipped a little bit against me. So let's see if we can get a move on NASDAQ here and see if we can get a trade going. Winnie says she's in Austin, of course. Very nice. Very nice. Why am I trading at this time frame, Jay? Because we have a global audience. I have many people that trade with us from Asia, many people that trade with us from Europe, and well, here we go, and we're done. We're done on the NASDAQ trade. NASDAQ trade gets done. Let's see what the S&P is doing. The S&P is still in the trade. The S&P is not performing as well. So yeah, like the other aspect of all of this that I always harp on and tell you is here's my ranking of trades. Let me see how gold is doing. And gold is also not working. Here's how I rank my instruments in terms of the most tradable for this setup. The most tradable for this setup is NASDAQ. The second most tradable is S&P. The third most tradable is gold. And you can literally see this in the setups where these instruments are just not performing as well. And one of the most important things I tell you, the single greatest trick I tell you, is I separate all my instruments into different accounts. So you never want the shitty instruments to pollute your good accounts, right? If these things, if there's a day where gold is kind of working, great. If there's a day where the S&P is working just as well as NASDAQ, great. But the point being is, if you separate them into different accounts, whatever problems you have with those trades, stay in those accounts. Your job is to manage one account to pay out. That's literally the key. Or, let's say if you have 10 accounts, you want to manage 3 or 4 of them to pay out. The point being is, you want the absolute best trades in the absolute single account to make it work. Separating them into accounts really makes a huge difference in terms of your mental state, your financial state, and everything else. That's the beauty of trading prop. These accounts are dirt cheap. And look at this. And now I got stopped out on the S&P because just did not have continuity. So why does the S&P suck and NASDAQ work? The S&P sucks because it doesn't have as much continuity, as much follow through as NASDAQ does, and gold has the least amount of follow through. Right? Gold is also going up against me. It's very, very choppy. That's just the nature of the beast. The other cool thing that we're gonna do in this account, and you're gonna see this, is just because we took a loss on one trade doesn't mean we're gonna take a loss on the trade cycle. Because we're trading so small, we can afford to size up on the next trade, on the next trade signal. And if the next trade signal is favorable, we're going to be able to make back all of these losses very, very quickly. That's the key to how I do everything. I separate all my trades. I trade very small in each account, and I constantly have enough ammunition in my arsenal to be able to come back and repair these trades if they don't work. So this way, we're constantly on a more or less positive path. And in 1 or 2 accounts, we're in a perpetually positive path, which is exactly what I'm trying to do here. So that's the game plan. Yes, sometimes that works, Santiago. That's the game plan. But even if NQ doesn't work, you should be at a small size so that you can repair that trade with relative ease, which is what I'm going to do. But back to, who is it? Jay. Jay was asking, why do we trade this this hour at a time? It's really to first of all, Jay, you have to understand, I'm not trading to make money. Let me put it this way. This is wrong. It's the wrong way of pricing. I'm not trading for profit for myself when I do these sessions, because it doesn't. The purpose of the sessions is for me to show you exactly how the setup works, for me to teach you the fundamental reasons for this, and to do this over and over and over again. The purpose of all of my lives is to help you trade. Okay, I know how to trade. I don't need to show off my P&L. Okay, I have like 9 accounts that are funded right now. Okay, so you don't need to see how great a trader I am. You don't give a shit about how great a trader I am. The reason I want to trade is, why the fuck am I here, by the way? Hold on a second. Which account am I in? Oh, why am I in the 16 account? All right, never mind. I want to be in the 8 account. Okay. The purpose of us trading live is to make you a great trader. And the only way you can do that is by watching the setups over and over and over again, so that you understand and you absorb the actual scalping structure that we do. So that's a long-winded way of saying, that's why we're doing it. Now, as I'm stating over here, yapping, there's another setup that's happening. Boom, we're going to go long here. So I went long again. Let me explain to you why. Let's do this one more time. Right? Oops, where's my thing? Okay. So why did I take this setup? Again, we had, as I said to you, the setup is always no dot, green dot, or opposite dot. This is the opposite. This is even like, this is a worst case scenario. They were trying to sell it, and the buyers came in and they completely crushed the sellers and brought it up. So momentum completely reversed from negative to positive. We typically, what we want to go is from neutral momentum to first gear, the green dot is the first gear, right? In this case, it was negative momentum. We're going in reverse, went from reverse to first gear, and that was even a better setup. And that's why we took the set trade, and we got it done. So that's, now Jay, you saw this example, boom, 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 and now you understand, why I took it. Now you guys got the good idea. In the meantime, gold is doing its little serpentine move here, and is actually starting to we're still alive in this gold trade, still targeting this 18.6 as our trade. And those of you guys, by the way, who are in coaching, we're going to talk a little bit about risk mitigation and some other stuff that's going to be a little bit more advanced. So on Thursday. So if you're really, really interested in just a full, complete, great description of how the scalping is, really works on a micro basis, we're going to talk about that in this coaching. And then for those of you guys, there are a lot of people, not a lot, but some people in coaching who are asking me, and absolutely you're going to get this, who are saying to me, Boris, I love the scalping, but it's just not my personality. I don't want to trade such short-term signals. Do we have the opportunity to do 1 trade a day or 2 trades a day, like sort of longer-term trade ideas with this indicator? And the answer is 1,000,000% yes. And I'm going to show those things. I'm going to start maybe this Thursday, but really as the month of August goes, when we have a little bit more leisure, and as we've sort of mastered the mechanics of the scalping, we're going to start talking about doing 1 or 2 trades a day, the much longer term day trading ideas that are embedded in this indicator, how to use them, what the rules are, and how you could put them into play. So, if those of you guys who are interested in coaching, here's the link. And as always, I make this offer. I keep telling you guys, if you get the coaching right now, where's my coaching link here? Yeah, here it is. Yeah, if you get this coaching link, I will buy you three Apex accounts for free. I will literally give you the money to get the Apex accounts right now. Right now, the Apex accounts are super cheap. They're less than $40. They're actually less than $40 for 50,000. So I will basically spot you 3 $50,000 accounts, which you can then trade, to your heart's content. So if you want to take advantage of the offer, you're new to the show, you want to really learn how to do this with me, and have 3 free accounts to start you with. Boom, we're done on gold, guys. The gold trade actually got done. It took us a really, really big move against us, but then, as you can see, it finally traded for us, and that trade got done. So really the only thing I haven't done is now the S&P is just not doing anything. There's no setups here. So the only problem child today has been the S&P. And as I said to you, the key techniques that we use here, which is what makes prop trading so great, is we can have multiple accounts, we can have multiple instruments, we can have an instrument per account, we can even have have a direction per account. So 1 instrument only longs, 1 instrument only shorts, if you want to do that. All of those tricks and techniques is what makes prop trading so much easier and so much better once you put them all together. So that was good. We're like about an hour and 15 minutes into the trade. All the NASDAQ trades are positive. The gold trades are positive. The only problem child is the S&P, and that's natural because it's got very little follow through today. So who else is new? Who wants to say hi to me? And where are you from? And also, if you're new, I'm actually really, really interested in whether you guys trade futures. Have ever traded futures? We have a setup in as I'm yapping, by the way, just to let you know, this is a nice clean setup in NASDAQ, right? No dot, green slope. We're good to go. Do I have the same setup we actually do have the same setup. We're going to try and do this. I'm going to do this with the S&P just to see, with the S&P first, just to kind of show you the different instrument structure. And let's see if we're gonna size this up a little bit. See if we can recover some of this trade here. If this shows up, now the S&P goes away. The signal in the S&P goes away. The signal in NASDAQ does not go away. So we're going to take the NASDAQ trade. The NASDAQ trade is legitimate. You can see, you know, guys, so just to let you know, I'm trading 3 different instruments with you purely for entertainment purposes, When I trade myself, I only trade NASDAQ, you know, good, bad, or indifferent. And I focus just on that particular structure. And that's the proper way of doing it. But because we're trying to do multiple setups, multiple instruments, people want to do different stuff. I'm doing it really for entertainment purposes with you. That's why we do small sizes, you know, not a lot of structure, stuff like that. But if you really want to, you know, when I teach you in coaching, I'm always really insistent that you just try to stay on one particular instrument, because, you know, good, bad, or indifferent, if you have the focus on one instrument, you generally have a much higher degree of success in the account. It's just the key thing to scalping is to be really focused, right? To sort of, you know, let the trade. Now, this is a perfectly legitimate trade that may not work because, you know, it's quiet. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's the second trade or the third. No, it's the second trade of this particular move. So it's, you know, if it stops me out again, we have plenty of ammunition to repair it, to give ourselves a trade. When we look at S&P, that's not even, you know, it's not even positive anymore. It turned negative for us, and looking kind of ugly. Ironically enough, I wonder if gold is the more liquid. Gold may be the more liquid trade here at this time of the day, and you know, today is also, by the way, like, there's no news, there's nothing going on. It's the middle of August. To have this kind of chop where you just basically in a pure chop environment, very natural. Gold does not have a signal for me, but maybe the next candle will give me a signal, because this is a good, clean green trade with no green dot, because gold is going away. I'm using the exact same indicator for gold as I'm using for this. It's my own proprietary indicator called DOTS, which is what I developed, and it's available, you know, only through our coaching services. So, but if you have, gold might be able to give me a dot here trade. $1.27 on the clock. We're waiting for the candle to close. But if gold holds this level, that will be a buy signal for us. $57 seconds left. Just watching gold here. No signal. Gold dot goes away, so no signal. Gold, you know, doesn't have a lot of upward momentum. What we're trading basically is we're trend scalping with a momentum kicker. We're looking for momentum to give us, you know, to get us into a trade. And if we don't have momentum, we don't go into the trade. Now, does momentum lie? Of course, momentum lies. But the point is, most of the time, momentum doesn't lie. We just, you know, we're betting on the fact that most of the time momentum doesn't lie, and that's exactly why, you know, why we scalp the way we do. 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to wait for this candle to close. Candle is good, so I'm in on this trade. Target is 19.8. Stop is 15.8. Gold goes against me, you know, as usual. Still in this NASDAQ trade, just floating this NAS trade. Target is 70.50 in NASDAQ. NASDAQ is just also very quiet, really doing nothing on this move. But, you know, let's see if NASDAQ wants to pop a little bit. And how is the S&P? S&P doing nothing. S&P is just really doing nothing. Time is it? It's 7:30. Usually this time of the day, we get a little bit of a interest in the market. Today, the markets are very clearly very, very quiet. Not a lot of liquidity. I mean, it's August. It's not a surprise. Everybody is on the beach. But let's see if we can just hit that 170.50. Let's see if we can get that up there. 69, 69.25, 70, 70.50, 70.25. We're done. And we're done on the trade. So, we held, generally these trades are like a minute long, but they've been like, 3 or 4 minutes long. But here's the thing that I want to show you is that you can see how just being very, even, in this particular case, NASDAQ, which went against me, was a very good setup. It's just the waiting for that pause, waiting for that just right momentum ignition really pretty much kept you on the right trade. All the NASDAQ trades we did today made money, right? All the NASDAQ trades we did today made money. So this is why I trade NASDAQ. This is why I love it. That's why it's a good trade. Oh, and the gold trade also made money, right? Sorry, let me show you this. I think I'm just not showing you properly. Let's go to here, chart settings, turn history on. There we go. Yeah, and you can see, the gold trades all working here too, right? Exit long, right over here, exit long, all of these trades work. So that's really the most important part. What I want to show you is the consistency, the patience, the execution of the setup as the dot setup as we do this. You can do this 20 times a day today, 20 times a day. We've already done this already like 8-9 times in the hour that I've been with you, right? I think we did like 5 NASDAQs, 3 golds, right? Maybe 8 times, whatever, in 1 hour. We're certainly going to do at least 10 trades before the marathon ends. And my point is with you guys, when you have this setup, you can do this any time of the day, any time of the night, because it really doesn't depend on more than just a small amount of ignition to get us to profit. I traded Asia yesterday. I started actually, what I started doing, guys? This is really interesting. This is the beauty of prop. You think prop is just only about, getting the prop accounts, passing them and getting paid out. But what you don't realize is how much a better trader you become on your real accounts. Last couple of days, because I was away. I didn't want to trade. I funded all my prop accounts. I didn't want to do any more prop. I just took a little bit of breather. I said, you know what? Let me go back to my real account and start trading that. And I killed it. Like just for fun, And a couple of hours, I was up $300 in one account. I was up like $400 in another account. And last night, I traded literally 1 micro. I'm literally trading for $10 a trade. And just for fun last night, before I went to kind of relax myself before I go to bed, and from 7:30 to 9:30, in between like all the tasks I was doing, there's another $100 in the bank. So the point is, can you scale it to doing? If you're serious doing it $1,000 a day, absolutely. If you have the size and the structure. When you're doing it on your own account, obviously you have a lot more flexibility in terms of structure and everything else. But what you don't understand is just by learning on prop, winning on prop, funding on prop, how much better your personal account is going to do. The skill sets are just amazing. So hope you guys are putting all that to use. Let's see where we're at right now. Okay. Okay. No trades. We're kind of quiet, but you see, we made lemonade on it. Today was a nothing burger day. We made money on the short side, made money on the long side, on a continuous set, right? What else? Anybody have any questions for me? Any newbie traders? Anybody trading? Let's do a poll here. Let's see what you guys are trading in real life. What do I trade most? And I'm going to just put the futures symbols, NQ, ES, and gold. This is going to be a futures poll. Answer the poll, guys. I'm actually curious. And then we'll do like a CFD poll with you guys. We'll see what everybody is thinking on that. Room is filling up. Welcome everybody. Welcome. We have a quiet, meandering, slow day today, but we are still clipping out profits out of the market with my setup, because I've introduced the very, very important pause element that keeps us patient until there's just enough ignition for us to do this. Is there a setup in gold, Steve? I don't know. Let me see. Sorry, I'm not watching gold. Let's look at gold. No. So here's the reason why I would. It looks good, Steve, and believe me, what I show you is just it's just one version of what you can do. But in gold over here, we made money. What we're really looking for right now is some pause, no dot, right? We have a couple of dots in gold, so I wouldn't take this trade because there's a risk of you just sort of kind of buying the highs. But if you're a true momentum trader, right? If you're just trading pure momentum and you're very, very comfortable just pushing momentum, you could easily trade every time you get a green dot, just buy, and then you will eventually buy the top. You will eventually get clipped out and buying the top. But if you're in a really strong, like an hour to 2 hour trend, that kind of a positioning where you're just adding, pressing can be very lucrative. It depends on your personality, depends on how you want to do it. Like if you're sort of the attitude like, listen, I'm going to get funded and or I'm going to get burnt out. And then once you're funded, you're like, I'm going to get paid out or I'm going to get burnt out type of trader. You can absolutely do this. And it still could be very, very profitable for you. Just to give you an idea, like let's say it's $150, for the payout account. Let's say you have like 5 or 6 of them. Let's say you burn 2 of them in this kind of a structure where you just pressing, and then you buy the top and you get stopped out. The account gets burnt out. Well, if 1 or 2 of them goes higher, in other words, you catch the momentum and the momentum really, really goes higher, and you did full size, full everything, you literally can achieve target in 1 day. Now you're not going to get paid out in 1 day because Apex has a rule where they want you to trade for like 5 straight days. But let's say you get very close to payout target, you can then just completely scale back and trade relatively small for 5-6 days and keep the account funded. So there's just a lot of different ways of trading and stuff. Like right now, if we're gonna look at this right now, we might have a setup because it's a pause candle. There was no dot, and if this candle goes to green dot, it does create a legitimate setup for us in gold, Steve. Steve, where are you from? And also, by the way, Steve has 2 first names for a name. His name is Steve Roy. And I'm actually very curious about this. People who have 2 first names, do people always like mix you up and mix you up and call you by your last name as your first name? Like, does that happen to you, Steve? Do people call you Roy all the time? I'm always curious about that with people with 2 names. No setup, by the way. Gold looks like it's kind of losing its luster a little bit here. Or you get called Roy a lot. I knew it. See, I knew it. It's always like natural because I'm like, for sure. Oh, guys. Ooh, I'm sorry. So we were sitting in gold here, but we actually had a legit NASDAQ trade here. So I'm sorry I missed that for you, but this would be like the 6th or the 7th setup in NASDAQ. And yes, when I'm trading myself, all I'm doing is I'm watching NASDAQ. So my attention is not diverted. My attention is totally focused on one instrument, and I'm just hitting it. But we're hanging out for 4 hours. We got to keep it fresh. So a lot of stuff that we're changing instruments. I'm keeping you entertained, and we're just doing different things. But yes, in a real world, I would have been. I literally have no other charts but the NASDAQ chart, and that's all I trade. You know, I mean, like, just on one screen, and that's the best way to do it. So sorry, that would have been a nice clean trade. Hey, Santiago, did that trade finally hit for you? Was it Santiago who was working the trade, or was it Fabio? Maybe it was Fabio. Oh yeah, Fabio says. Fabio is yeah. You always have problems while working in Germany because you have 2 first names and 2 last names. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I know. It's the curse of the name, right? It's you just get used to it. They want to try to call you by the 3rd name. Well, you know what? Okay, so you guys know, of course, my name is Boris, right? First of all, I just want to let everybody who's American know there is never, ever, ever a case in the history of the world where Boris is ever spelled with 2 R's. Okay, especially if you're Slavic like me, like that is just not a thing. But Americans inevitably put 2 R's in my name, which always cracks me up. So there's just never a thing. But the funniest thing is in the South. In the South, people can't even fathom the name Boris. So they always think I say Forrest. And they're always calling me Forrest. Because Forrest, I guess, is a common Southern name. And when I was younger, I used to always get pissed. I'm like, I'm not a tree. My name is not Forrest. But now I just find it really amusing. And I just take it in stride. But that's always like, if I'm talking below the Mason-Dixon line, I have to speak to like, an operator or anybody else. Is a Forrest? Is your name Forrest? I'm like, yes, ma'am. Just go ahead. Just use that. This is not a setup for NQ. Why is this not a setup? Let's tell me why it's not a setup. Let's see if you kind of absorb this. Why is this not a setup? This was a setup where I had my arrow. The white dot was a setup. But right now it's not a setup. Why is this not a setup? Why is it not a setup? Why is this candle not a setup for NQ? Because remember, we need pause, ignition, and we have 2 ignitions. Too much rocket fuel sometimes leads to reversals, right? That's basically how you want to think about this. So that's why I don't take that dot. Here's S&P. The S&P is my Don Quixote today. Let's see. I'm going to see if we can get a signal in the S&P. I'm going to try and trade the S&P. See if we can get something done here. That's right. 2 dots in a row. It's exactly right, Steve. That's exactly right. Okay. Watching for signal. S&P has nothing. Man, you can really see how slow the S&P is today. Just really dumb. Excuse me. Oh, baby. Oh. All right, it's going to be a good time. I'm going to go off camera for just a minute, guys, to go make fresh coffee. We'll keep it on the S&P just to see what happens here. See if we get a signal. Maybe we turn back. Who the hell knows? We need to, S&P has essentially been in a 1-point range for the last hour and a half. So maybe we start to get a little bit of range expansion, and that's exactly when we get a signal. In the meantime, we just stay put. I'll be back in like literally 2 minutes. All right, guys, I am back. Sound check to make sure you guys see me, hear me okay. I got my third espresso of the day ready to go. Nothing much going on over here. How's gold doing? Gold is quiet too. Gold had a, we did have, no, we didn't have a trade. We had nothing in gold, and S&P also just quiet. S&P is breaking actually to the upside. The short-term moving average is above the long-term moving average. Interesting. Might have a. I'm actually looking for if this is a setup for us. This is look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is if it stays on the green dot, this is going to be another trade for us. So we're going to try and do this. Do I keep tabs on the hourly or daily highs? They're pretty irrelevant, but honestly, remember, we're just looking for short-term ignition. The more distractive elements you introduce to it, the more distracted you're going to be. At least for me, I find I'm not, because I don't have a view on whether the NASDAQ is going to end up or down today. I don't even have a view if the NASDAQ is going to end up or down in the next hour. I'm trading the next 2 minutes, and my job is to make sure I can handicap those 2 minutes as best as I can, right? So that's the key thing is, I think if you're trading long-term charts, then you care about those things. I don't, so I find I'm just sort of focusing only on the elements that make the trade work. And the elements that make the trade work is the pause ignition stuff. So, and NASDAQ goes, you see, we kind of had a little bit of rally here and kind of died. Actually, like a 90-point rally from 7 o'clock to 7:30, and it kind of came down. The beautiful part is that if we do have, like as I said to you guys, anytime we have more than half an hour worth of continuous movement, we're guaranteed to make money. There are very few times I can say that in finance, but the way the setup works is, but again, it's a big if. I have no idea that something is going to rally for half an hour or longer before it starts. But if that happens, the setup will always catch the ignition moves and will always make the proper trend scalps. That's the key thing. Black Mamba says we're going back to the highs and then higher. Okay, I'll play. You entered VQ at the VWAP. That's nice. I hope that works for you. I don't even have the VWAP. A lot of people ask me, why aren't we trading the VWAP? We could do a 2-minute VWAP if we want to. Not necessary, because again, we're trading momentum and trend. Colors, wait, candles on colors different. What does that mean, Ben? You mean the okay, so let me explain that to you. That's a really good point. Occasionally, let's understand, how are the candles colored? In my indicator, the candles are colored by, if it's above the moving average, it's green. If it's below, it's red. It's not based upon it's traditional, open, high, low, because I'm not interested in open, high, low. I'm not trading that. I'm just trading straight. So if it's above the moving average, it's strong. If it's below, it's weak, right? Here's the key thing, though. Every single platform on a 2-minute chart may have a tiny little difference in calculating what the 8-period SMA is. So 8-period SMA on wealth charts may be a little bit different than it is from TradingView, and the difference between NASDAQ and MNQ could be also different. Well, just one tick can make a difference on a 2-minute chart. So you will sometimes, occasionally, get different coloring going on, Okay, guys, does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense, Ben. All right, let's see how gold is doing. Nothing much. We are definitely, positive bit on gold, but we need to see. You see how when gold was in a buy mode, how it held the green slope continuously, and how trading it over here was very, very easy. Once we start going back and forth on the slope, that means that there's hesitation between the buyers and the sellers, and there is no conviction. And that's what we stay away from the low conviction environments and try to just simply participate in higher conviction environments to become high conviction. We basically want to. That's kind of a good way of describing it. We try to stay away from low conviction environments where nobody has a real opinion one way or the other. We try to engage when there's higher conviction, when people in opinion is forming, and then obviously exit at at strong conviction when there's lots and lots of movement one way. That's really what we're trying to do here. And the mechanics behind it is really just designed to make that happen. Okay, I may have, again, the big question is, does S&P have any juice in it? But like this candle in the S&P, if we have a green dot, it's got to go to like 41.50, I believe. We have a green dot, it closes on a green dot. That's a setup for us. We have a green slope. We have candles in the green slope. Now we just need that ignition. Here's the ignition. Oh, okay. So basically, my explanation was not even necessary. You just fucked up. You just fucked up, Ben. Okay, that was the story. Okay. Yeah. And by the way, blue candles. For those of you that want to know, blue candles are simply candles that are matching the moving average. If you're above your green, if you're below your red, and if you're just matching the moving average, you're blue. That's why. That's all that is. Alas, the S&P does not give me a signal. 14 seconds left and no green dot unless they start really sweeping and buying it. No conviction, right? No dot, no conviction, no trade. That's all. That's just all it is. So we're just sitting here happily doing nothing because that's exactly what we should be doing. Now we switch a little bit to the red slope, kind of hanging out. NASDAQ is also kind of switching around. So we'll see. See what's going on Twitter, man. I haven't even looked at news today, but it's such a quiet day today. We haven't had anything going on here. Let's see. I don't know what's going on with this computer, man. McDonald's is good. Good numbers. That's good. That's actually really good. U.S. consumers holding steady. All right, nothing much going on here. Yeah, we had a really fun time at the New York Stock Exchange yesterday. This was us. Where's the other? Where are the other pictures? There she is. I'm sure you guys have seen him, right? He's like one of the most photographed traders on the NYSE. It was a lot of fun. He was showing us their market on close strategy yesterday, which was kind of really interesting. So it was fun. All right, nothing much going on here. Let's see where we're at. So was this a trade? Not really. I mean, much as I'd like to pull the trigger on this, not a trade. I'll tell you why. Let's see with the S&P too. With the S&P, it's not a great trade, but we could give it a shot here if the green dot holds. But really, what this is showing you here is very, very weak conviction. Just it's not. It's so the slope is just totally flat. We're switching from green to red, back to green. It's really not a great setup. Like this may work, but it's just not worth for us taking as far as trade. Because what we'd love to see is even if this, like, let's say this trade works, and the market rallies 2 or 3 candles forward, we're going to get a much better setup, right? But yeah, don't want to take the trade. No, not really. Same thing here. Like, this is a red dot, green dot. It's probably, it probably is going to work. But if we're going to get some conviction, there's a lot more conviction in NASDAQ, which is much more upward sloping and has much stronger green slope. But we're not, we're going to give it, just give it a pause. We really want 2 or 3 candles in uninterrupted green slope, right? And as you see here, me not pulling the trigger was probably pretty smart, because the conviction is not really, the slope is what shows you conviction. The dots is what show you momentum. And you really want both of those things in your favor to minimize unnecessary losses. That's really what it's about. So Fabio, this is what I'm basically saying to you, that it's not. I'm kind of interpreting it as not, because it's just not, there's not enough, you have this red slope over here, not strong enough. Today is a great day, actually, to, oh God, sorry, I gotta sneeze. Oh, man, I hate having allergies, guys. Sorry. Today is a great day, actually, to discriminate the marginal setups. Today is a very flat day, not a lot going on, and this is a perfect day to learn how not to take trades. And this is a good example of us just doing it. Same thing with the S&P. S&P kind of crashes. Where's gold today? Where's gold doing? Oh, gold actually is a legit setup. We actually have a legit setup in gold. 7 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1, boom, we're selling gold. Okay, so the other thing is, when you see a legitimate setup, it takes you no time to see it. Once you've learned and taught yourself how you see a setup. So why is this a legitimate setup? You had, long 3 or 4 candles under the red slope. You had a no dot momentum ignition. It works, it doesn't work, but it's a legit setup. It's a legit setup in gold. Target in gold is 18.2. So we have that. We'll see if that works. NASDAQ is starting to turn a little bit red. Sort of, do we die out on this rally? And then we're starting to hit top. We'll see. We'll keep it. We'll just keep watching it. Right now, we have like zero directionality or signals for us to do. So we just stand steady. See what they have on. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's too bad. It's a gated article from Zero Hedge. Okay, so now we're kind of turning cleaner into a sell mode. We have a red slope. We have a couple of candles underneath that red slope. Now we have a red dot candle, 58 seconds on the clock. If this thing holds as a signal, we may have a trade. This is the gold trade, still in the gold trade, still putzing around in the gold trade. Here's the MNQ. We have 35 seconds now, starting to form a clearer signal for us. But now it goes away. Let's see. 25 seconds left. Let's see how it looks. No trade. No trade. No trade. We come right back. And gold also comes back. Gold is kind of torturing us one way or the other. Okay, that's fine. How's the S&P? S&P is setting up. This candle, if it goes into red dot territory, is definitely a clean setup for us. So we'll watch the S&P here, $134 on the clock. Let's see if that works. Honestly, every time we get excited because we think they're going to break the range, it kind of stays in the range, right? We're just in a range-bound market. But that's the beauty. The beauty of the indicator is that you don't really move until you have some evidence that they're going to try to break the range and get some momentum going. When there's no momentum and it's kind of in a stall mode, we don't have any signals. Now the slope goes back from red to neutral. So like all the more reason for why we're not getting that signal. $23 seconds in the S&P, still trying to see if they do a little bit of sell-off over here, and they don't. But it does feel like they're starting to build a little bit of selling pressure. So maybe the next candle we get a signal. We'll see. Or this thing could just, the buyers could come back in and see if they can push it higher. Either way, we wait until we have the right set of circumstances. Let's see what everybody's trading in the poll. So in the poll, thank you for the poll. 2/3 of you trading NQ, 20% of trading S&P, and 15% trading gold. Okay, that's pretty fair representation of how things go. new candle in S&P. Gold is putzing around. S&P also. Again, you see, like you see this wavering from green to red, green to red. not a lot of conviction, right? Maybe now we're just starting to see a little bit of conviction. But if you sort of, even if you just draw the line over here, you see how it's a very flat line. No signal in the S&P. No signal in NASDAQ. We're just staying today. But you're starting to see a little bit of a red sell-off slope starting to form. For example, if this candle goes red dot, that would be a nice, clean, clear signal for us to the downside. Still in this gold trade, the target is, I can't even see it. 18.2, I guess. 18.2 is the target. What was the low on this thing? 18.1. Huh. I wonder why the trade didn't get done. It went down to 18.1. It didn't get done. That happens on the wealth charts a lot. Anybody trading gold? Anybody in this gold trade with me? I'm just curious. I'm curious if anybody was in the gold trade and if you were in the in Trade of 8, if that got done. Right over here. I'm just. It must have just popped all the way down here, but didn't trade through. And we're right there, and we're right there, and it's not. Oh, there we go. Finally got executed. All right, so the gold finally got done on that trade. We're just very, very patient. But again, that was a classic setup, classic trade. Gold gets done. Good for us. Let's see what and we're getting a signal. Finally, getting a signal in NASDAQ. Okay, so here's NAS signal. Right, 47 seconds left. Legit signal. Right, we have 2-3 candles that are red. We have a red dot candle. 35 seconds. This has got to hold. You know, this candle's got to hold, and we're not going to move until the close of the candle. But this is a pretty good candle. Hey, Nico, was that Was that on wealth charts or on Tradeovate for you? I mean, before we all got done, like, did you do that trade on Tradeovate or wealth charts? 8-9 seconds left. We still have the hold. 3, 2, 1, sell. All right, we short here. Target is 57.75 on NASDAQ. Well charts, yeah. I was wondering if anybody was on Tradeovate, if there was a quicker resolution or not. But it doesn't matter. We got done. Oh, let's see where the if the S&P is. I missed the S&P trade. I wish I'd taken this. Also, I was just a little bit late on this thing. But the S&P trade was also a legit. You see how this was all nicely clean setup. The S&P would have been a good clean trade to the downside here, totally. And NASDAQ gets done again. So NASDAQ trade gets done. So let's count all the trades of NASDAQ, because there's one that I think is missing because I was in a different account. But let's just see. We have 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3 in this account. Which account was this? This was this one. And then we have, I think I was doing, which one was I doing? Yes. Okay. And this was a secondary account. Okay. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades in NASDAQ in like, what are we doing? We've been trading for 2 hours. So we had 6 consecutive winning trades in NASDAQ, right? And that's the game plan. So it's what does that work out to? About 3 trades an hour, right? So that's what I'm trying to basically tell you. You have like 3, probably an average of 3, and this is in a very, very slow, really, really crappy market environment. 3 trades an hour, 6 trades every 2 hours. If you do 2-3 hours, it's like 9-10 trades. Depending on what kind of size you want to use, it creates an incredibly interesting. Like, for example, when I'm trading for my own account, I'm trading $40 trades. So 2 hours, 6 trades, $240, which is exactly what I do. $250, 2 hours worth of trading in a really good quality day. That's not bad, right? On just a very very small basis too. I mean, because you don't really need more than $5,000 in your own account. And if if you're trading this on a prop, of course you're trading this on a $50,000 account. You're doing $250 a day very easily. Or you could really, really press it and trade like two minis, and then now you're like at $1,000 a day on 6 trades. So it's just, this is all an example of how, when you're doing the setup, and you're doing it consistently and you're doing it properly, you can see how it really, really builds. The P&L really, really builds nicely, right? And you can go crazy with it. The most important part is to just kind of master the setup. And whether, I would say master the setup and then focus on one instrument, whatever instrument you want to do. If it's that people who like to trade gold, you could easily make this setup in gold viable, but you have to just focus on gold as a setup. As a matter of fact, we have a gold trade coming up right now again, right? $1.40. It's a legitimate gold trade. Now, here's where it gets interesting, and this is what we're going to talk about in coaching. Where is the sweet spot of profit in the scalp? In my opinion, the sweet spot of profit is in the first 2 trades of the slice of where the moving averages, stay consistent on one slope. After that, if you have a really, really strong trend where you have, like, I don't know, 2 hours worth of pure green slope or 2 hours worth of pure red slope, yes, you certainly can make more than two. But generally, the highest probability, the easiest scalps are the first two, and after that, even if everything sets up, you can still sell the lows or buy the highs because the probability of continuity dies out. So I just kind of focus on two scalps per trend slice as my maximum trade. Who says there's no more one-day valuation on Apex? Is that a new thing that came up today? Is that true? I don't know. I did it yesterday and I passed and I got funded. Where do you have this information? Is this just something that you overheard, or you actually have evidence for that fact? Because I haven't heard anything from Apex on that. Does anybody know about this, about Apex? I'm happy to find out. I'm going to sell gold. I'm going to just take one more gold trade on this, because it's still a legitimate. I like it. And I think we're done. Are we done? No. Shit, we're not done. How is it like flying and I'm not done yet? I understand how it goes through the lows, but not getting me done. All right. Well, we'll keep it up. It's really annoying because we went all the way down to, what was the low here? 16.5, and I'm at 16.7, and I'm not done. I don't understand how this is working, but it is what it is. I'm going to flatten out. I'm just flattening the position because I don't understand how this is not getting done. But anyways, it does. For those of you guys who got done, good. Good for us. We bring the gold back up, and we're in good shape, and we're all to go. Max, where's this note? Because yesterday I literally passed my account and got funded. Where do you? I think you're confusing something. You're talking about payouts versus evaluations. I think you're confused, Max. I think you can still use one day to pass out. Does anybody else have any evidence of what Max is saying? I don't think I'm happy to get a hold of Apex people to confirm this. I think what you are confused about is when you're in a funded account, as I am right now, they want you to trade for at least 7 days. That's correct. You can't take a hunch, bet a bunch, get lucky, and expect to get paid out. That's not trading. Yes. So it is. It's still yes. Yes, it's one day pass. Yes. I mean, I believe it's 1 day pass. I mean, I know I did it in 1 day yesterday. So and I got funded and they funded my account. So I don't think it's this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, George. Listen to the East Europeans, my friend. Okay, the East Europeans always know. They always know the truth. So that's the story. It's when you are in a funded account. And by the way, in a funded account, it's almost impossible to kind of like get paid out faster because of the risk control rules that you're using. The risk control rules that I'm doing, I don't expect to have these funded accounts paid out for a month because that's really how you're going to properly trade in real life. Yeah, I mean that's the key. Yeah. No, anytime. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to clear your head. Anyways, so how many trades have we done on the win side here? We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I did 6 trades in NASDAQ, 5 trades in gold. It's over a 2-hour period. So my point is, you could do like, if you're really, really intensely involved here and really trading multiple screens and really focused, you could actually probably do 10 to 15 trades in 2 hours. And again, sizing is up to you. What I'm doing, I'm just doing tiny size here because I'm doing it for demo purposes with you guys. As I said, for my own personal structures, what I trade, I'll give you all the rules. For prop accounts, I'm trading 2 for 20 opening trade, 2 micros for 25, 5 micros for 50. That's my opening trade. For my personal account, I trade 5 micros as my opening trade. And because I'm willing, it's my own account, I'm willing to take a little bit more risk. But if you're staying at that range, you're in good shape. And if you have a large account, like I would say, if your personal account is 20,000 or more, which many of you could easily do, you could probably trade. Here's a good metric that I would use. And again, this is just suggested. Trust me, do not go by this as sacrosanct. 1 mini per 10,000 on your personal account. That's a really good metric. But on a prop account, it would be like I would go in micros on notional. So if notional is 25,000, I do 2 micros. 50,000, I do 5 micros. 100,000, 10 micros or 1 mini. 250,000, 2 minis. That's how I would be trading those accounts. But that's up to you, as numbers. But look how good this setup was in a very, very quiet, meandering day, right? We didn't take unnecessary risk. The most important part about how the setup is that we did not take unnecessary risks, right? The chart is littered with winning trades because we were patient enough to wait for the time when the trade played out, right? When the trade played out for us, both on gold and on NASDAQ. This is the wrong account, so I'm going to go to this account. This is the 8 account. Yeah, this is the 8 account. Okay, I'm just going to stay in this 8 account for the rest of the time. But we're all making good progress, I think, right? As I said, I have about on the prop side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 425s, 350s, right? And then on wealth charts, we have 2 25s that are funded, and then I'm just putzing around with this one. I'm going to try and get this one funded, and then we'll just run them all. We'll just run the funded side of it, and that's going to be the game plan for the rest of August into September. We're just going to be trading fundeds. Okay. Maybe if you guys want, we'll do. I kind of really want to do like one marathon session where we just do 10 eval accounts, and we try to get them. We try to pass the eval accounts in one trading session. I'm happy to do that, but we got to prepare for that. We couldn't. There's no way I was going to do it today in a super slow environment like there is today. Although, frankly, I could have. The irony of the whole thing is, even in a shitty little environment like this, if I was trading, which is what I would have been doing, I would have been trading full size on minis. I would have been able to fund this account in the 2 hours, because we had 6 winning trades in NASDAQ, that we had no losing trades. And when you're doing my stuff, it's $800 per win per trade. I just need $3,000. So I just literally needed to do 4 trades, right? And I would have been funded. That's exactly how I got funded yesterday. So we could have done it today in a slow environment, but we'll do it another time. Yeah, NQ worked, right? Which NQ setup? Are you talking about this one, or did I miss this? I missed this setup. This was the setup. Santiago, I was yapping my mouth and I missed this setup. This was the short that worked. Yeah, There's another setup that would have worked. I mean, I'm telling you, you could just, all you do is if you zone in on the setup, it's 3 per hour, pretty much like clockwork. I mean, of course, it's, it can always be different, but it's pretty much like clockwork. Nah, I don't want you to take a day off work. But we'll definitely try and do it. I mean, a good way to do this, where we can do this without really interrupting people's lives, is we can actually do like a super Asia session, which might be fun. Because honestly, you can definitely make money in Asia, in the slow Asian markets, with this kind of setup. Like we could maybe like run 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., like a 4-hour session, maybe even 7 to midnight, and kind of do that. And that could be fun. And that's a good time for a lot of people. Although the Europeans are going to hate me, because it's really, really late for the Europeans. But for everybody in North America, especially the West Coast, it's a much more reasonable time to do this. Yes, Jiva, I stream. I've been off for a couple of days, but yes, generally I stream every day. Today is our marathon day. We do like 4 hours of streaming, and we trade every day. We do what I call trend scalping. We look for really high probability, incredibly easy to make trend trades, and just bank it. That's what we do. As you can see, we're banking and banking in all our trades. So welcome. Where are you from, Javaz? Yes, this is a brand new indicator. You have to. It's the best way to get all of this, guys. If you're interested in my trading, my coaching, and everything else. Oops, sorry, guys. Sorry. Is to hit this link right over here, because the great thing about this offer that I give to everybody is you have 6 months of coaching. You have the indicator both on wealth charts and on Trading View, right? Possibly have. Let's watch for the S&P. This is going to be my best thing. If we can come back up to flat on S&P with this setup today, that'll be awesome. So let's watch the S&P. Maybe we have a setup in the S&P. And here's the greatest part. Those of you guys who want to take advantage of the offer, and this only stays until Apex's discount goes away. So if you need to make sure that you get the first of all, if any of you don't have Apex, go out there, go get some Apex accounts. But I will buy you 3 Apex accounts. So if you've never traded before, you've never traded prop before, you literally get funded with three $50,000 accounts, which you can then trade my indicator and my setup with and my coaching with. Yeah, I think I feel like there's a lot of West Coast people, both from Calgary and California, and even for Asia, the morning session for Asia could be a lot of fun. So I think we're gonna have to screw the Europeans unless they're willing to stay up very late with us, and maybe we'll do a marathon session in Asia, and they'll be interesting, and we'll see how that goes as well. Where am I streaming from? I'm streaming from New York. Where are you from? Well, that's what happens when you have socialism, Nico. That's funny. You guys have all the good sessions now, so one little Asia session isn't going to hurt anybody. Who else is new in the room? Who's joining us right now for fun and profit? Who's having a good time here? I'm looking for the S&P. Come on, baby, give me that green fucking dot so we can TP this trade. Let's see if the S&P is going to give me a setup. Hi, Randy. Where are you from? And what are you trading? Where are you from, and what are you trading? Is my my two questions to everybody. Yes, yes to both. Long Island. Well, you're a neighbor. Randy, what are you trading? A NASDAQ and US 30? So you're trading CFDs. We're gonna turn you into a futures fanatic, my friend. Are we trading futures? We're trading S&P, ES, NASDAQ NQ, and gold GC. So that's a 50. So forex apostle, it's really easy if you think about this. 50,000 notional, just take the first number 5, make it a micro. 25,000 notional, take the first number 5, make it a micro. Once you get into 100,000, this is all for prop, right? Once you get to 100,000, 1 turn into a mini, right? 100,000 first number 1 into a mini. 200,000 or 250,000, turn that into a mini. That's just, and if you use that as your sizing scale, you're almost never going to go wrong. Miss, you're in Idaho? Seriously? Are you like the only Italian in Idaho? I'm kidding you, my friend. S&P turns against us. It betrays the green slope, which is perfect. You see, here's what I'm going to show you guys. Look, what do we just do here? We avoided unnecessary loss, right? That's like the beauty of this setup. We just, we avoided unnecessary drama, right? Where's the gold? Gold is back in black. Gold actually has a legit buy signal here. Okay, I'm going to buy this gold. So I watched it. I looked at this slope. Let me explain to you why I took the gold buy here. We do have the green slope. We have the green candle. We have the green dot. Pretty legitimate. It's gold. You can always fuck us, but it is a legit trade. 20.4 is the target on gold. 20.4 is the target on gold. Let's go to the position monitor. We're at 19.6. 20.4 is the target on gold. Might as well watch this. The good thing about wealth charts, of course, is we can watch the ladder as well as everything else. It's a fully integrated platform. It's really nice to see that on wealth charts. Are you traveling electrician? Oh wow! Wait, like how much travel do you do? Are you on the road all the time? And do you fly or do you drive? Swing by gold. Okay. Sorry. There's a couple of questions on gold here that I'm trying to understand. So how do you set up your take profit on gold? It's 832, eight ticks. You can see it, in at 6, out at 4. 19.6 out at 4. It's an 8 tick target. 8 tick target. Yeah, it's 832. Yeah, it's counter trend since 2000. Yes, we are counter trend. Gold not really cooperating, but that's gold. That's fine. But it is a legit setup. So and so here's the other thing I was going to say to you. We basically have had, I already forgot, 13, 14, 15 trades in a row. Legitimate trades. So you almost have to expect a losing trade out of 14 trades. I mean, if you're in that ratio, you're an amazing ratio. There's, if you have that ratio for a long time, you're printing money. So that's kind of, where I'm looking at right now. So far, every legitimate setup we took, 14, 15 of them have all P&L'd. So if this one doesn't, it's very much within the statistical range of where we should be. But we'll see. That's gold. Let's see what's happening on NASDAQ. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Oh God, I gotta sneeze. No trade on this NASDAQ, even though it's very tempting. No trade on this NASDAQ if it's a red dot. I'll explain in just a second. Oh wow. Okay, so what car do you have? Do you have a Ford F-150, or do you? So now we have to find out if your job is to drive for a living all over the country. What kind of a car do you drive? So we know what car is good. Yeah, because of slope, correct, and a million other things. That's correct, Fabio. That's why there's no trade in this. Yes. So tell us, Vince, what car are you driving? Good morning, USA. How are you? We've been trading for a while. We're like 16, 17 winning trades in a row today. With just S&P being actually the only problem child, but we're still working on that. NASDAQ has just been all winners, as you can see. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see what the gold is doing. Ooh. Oh, did I exit gold? Oh, exit long. No, I got stopped. So sorry. So gold hit a loser for the first time. And again, as I said to you, 14 winners in a row, you have to statistically expect a loser. So we get clipped on gold. Now, no problem. We'll wait for the next setup. But that is in the best case scenario, that is something you absolutely want to have in terms of consistency. All right, let's see what the S&P is giving us. S&P no signal, but maybe we get it. Maybe we get a chance on the S&P. Ha! No way. That is literally the last car I would have thought you would say. That's hilarious. That's great. That's great. Of all the cars, first of all, I thought you'd definitely be driving an American car, but then like Subaru, man. Do you work for the WNBA? I'm just kidding. Yeah, 312, correct. 312 on the S&P. You probably could get away with 416. And frankly, I'll be honest with you. I mean, Nico really trades. Is it Nico? You're still trading the S&P primarily, right? He trades the S&P. He's chime in. He does. I would defer to him as like the structures that you should trade with. But yeah, I'm doing a 312. But that's really because I don't really trade the S&P that much. I trade NASDAQ. But Nico, chime in. I know he trades the S&P a lot. So if or anybody else in the room who trades the S&P a lot primarily, tell me what your brackets are on the trade. Still, honestly, if you look at NASDAQ, from an Eagles out point of view, it's just all basically 20-point range for the last 2 hours or the last hour. And we still managed to survive it and not fall for any of its tricks and, do okay. All right. Does S&P turn positive for the first time? What's gold doing? Gold is just chopping around. Okay. No signal on gold. Let's see if anything is on Twitter. Dip buyers just won't stop. Oh, so Apple is going to build a factory in America. That's what everybody is looking for. That's funny. You see what the comment over there? The guy is like, if it's in America, I'm not buying. That's really, really funny. Oh. Let's see what's on the headlines. All right, nothing much going on here. Nope, nothing much. All right, let's see what where the numbers are. Still very flat. Still really, the bottom line is we're 140, 180, and that's a tight range for there's not much to operate there. So despite a very, very tight range day today, to be 15-1, 16-1 is really good, I think. Yeah, the micro won't show because it may very well be Santiago. I don't change my stops and targets, Fabio, from session to session. I would only consider something like that if we had like a 500-point day in NASDAQ, 1,000. Like you need volatility. Right now, the volatility anywhere where it's less than 1% per day move, my stops and targets are pretty much going to stay the same. It's only once we get to like a 2% day or 3% day, that's when you really want to widen your stops and targets. But now, 80% of the days are 50 basis points or less in range. So there's no reason to widen your stops and volatilities. Slope is still red, so really not a lot of interest over here. Let's see what gold is doing. Gold is doing nothing. Let's see what S&P is doing. Still nothing. So very quiet. We just sit on our hands, not do anything. The cool thing about scalping, and the great thing about doing this is, first of all, multiple trades per hour, right? So you don't have, if you miss one, there'll be the next one coming down like a train. The next one coming down to every 10 minutes. But the other thing is, you don't really have to. I have like one screen on the side where I'm watching the market and I'm trading, and then the rest of the time I'm doing work and I'm talking to Kathy, and a lot of times I'm in Discord and she's talking to me and I'm ignoring her and I'm trading. The point being is that when you're scalping like this, it's your attention is just 10. You need 10 seconds of your attention. Once you get the setup, once you understand the setup and you see the structure, that's that 10 seconds, and then you let it run. And that's the beauty of it. You don't have to sit there and watch it for days and nurse it for days and do all these other things. You can just come in, quick hit, stops, targets, done, great. Not done, you wait for another opportunity. I find that to be really, really cool about the scalping, is that you don't depend on time of day. You don't depend on market structure. You don't depend on anything. You just look for, just look for the setup. You see it, you hunt it, you kill it, you move on. Okay, what is this? Yellow news reports today per forex. Yeah, just really nothing. Yes, Trump is putting pressure on India. It's gonna be an interesting battle of wills. India has been very good at just navigating the middle ground, and I think Trump is just really had it with Putin. He wants the war in Ukraine to end. So it'll be interesting to see what he comes up with as far as pressure gauges go over there. Is there a reason I don't trade the Dow? Just focus. We could. I mean, we could. If you want to, actually, it's a fun thing to do. Like Bob, like actually, let's, it's kind of boring, right? So we certainly can fool around with it. So let's actually do this. The great thing about wealth charts is we can do multiple trades here. So let's do another. We'll do another wealth charts, and we'll do the Dow. Oops, sorry. Okay. All right, the wealth charts. It's not a bad idea, right? Because I mean, the reason nobody really trades the Dow in the futures market is because it's not very liquid, but it's certainly liquid enough for us. The Dow would be 10 ticks, 40 ticks type of a structure. So let's see. We go to. Oh man, I don't know why I have a hard time logging in. Okay, 10. Okay, so let's change this screen to the Dow. It's very, very easy. All we do is just type in MYMU, which is the December Dow contract. It's really slow too, right? But would have worked here. Like this is a really good example, and we can do the same thing. So yeah, we could definitely do this. Let me just change this again. MYMU Dow, so we can watch the ladder. It's kind of fun to watch the ladder on the Dow. And the brackets, we're going to go into the brackets, and our brackets is going to be 1040. And if we get a setup, we'll take a Dow setup too. Right now we got nothing, but but here there's a good example. Here's a green slope, green candle. This kind of hangs tight. If like this candle closes, the next candle goes green dot, that would be a setup for us. We could take the Dow setup. But NASDAQ is also possibly setting up for us too. Gold is flat. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. We are trend scalping in a very, very quiet environment today. Oh, so Eddie, I'm glad you chimed in. You were asking, how do you set up? And I'm assuming, Eddie. So, by the way, we're watching the Dow, guys. I would take. It's not a great setup, but I will take it just for shits and giggles here. So we have a green slope, green candle and a green slope, and this one is a green dot. It's it's worth a shot. So I'm gonna, as soon as I do this trade, Eddie, I'm gonna show you how to enable a Wealth Charts BFF indicator. So 12 seconds left. Yeah, it's very simple. So the brackets are set up. Once you set them up at 1040, it's set up. It's set for life. And now we're gonna go long. All right. So the only problem with, of course, with the Dow is like you're gonna get some slippage. So I'm long here. So I'm long 75, target 85, stop is 35. Okay. The beautiful thing about Dow is you get to trade like big points. So market is 73.75, 73.76. We're basically midpoint at 75. That's what we got to execute it, and the target is going to be to 85. So we can watch this for fun and profit if we want to. But in the meantime, Eddie, here's how you would look for my indicator. You're in Wealth Charts. You're going to go into this triple line menu, into the line menu. No, sorry, you're not going to do that. I'm sorry, you're not going to do that. You're going to be on a chart. You're going to be on a chart. You're going to right-click the chart and you say Add Indicators. Okay, for anybody who is part of my coaching and does not have the Wealth Charts indicator, say Add Indicators, and you're going to go into Marketplace, double-click this, and you want to see my name. Okay, you want to see my name, and if you don't see my name, that means that you weren't enabled. You need to email me. I made sure. Oh, we already got. Did we get done? No, I'm not going to get done. Once you see my name, all you got to do is just simply click BFF dots only, and the indicator will come on your chart. It's already on my chart, so I have it. But that is it. Let me know if that's clear, and you have it. You don't have to adjust any of the indicator because the indicator is already optimized for what you need to see on the chart. You don't have to make any changes to it. Once you just simply click it, put it on the chart, make sure it's on a 2-minute chart, and you're good to go. So if you don't have my name, Eddie, I have sent, I don't know, maybe Rob has been away. I'm going to try and get a hold of him today. But I have sent everybody's email addresses. So hopefully he'll enable you soon. Now, you obviously have to have a Wealth Charts account. Everybody, this goes without saying, you have to have a Wealth Charts account. Thank you so much. That was really, really great. Thank you so much. Yes, Vince. Vince, we're gonna make the indicator for a company called DNA Prop that is a trade locker. So yes, it's good, but it's only going to be for that company. But we will have that account. Yes, in trade locker. All right, let's see what we actually have a NASDAQ trade here. Let's get long here. I'm a little bit late. Okay, a long NASDAQ trade. I was taking other trades here. So target here is 76. Target here is 76. Let's see if we can make 76. And we're done. And we're done on NASDAQ. Okay, so again, I keep repeating the trade because it needs to be instinctual, when you see the setup. So why was this setup for me instinctual? Because again, candles were all green, slope was all green. I had a no dot candle, beginning of a trade trend. I took that. Anybody else take that trade with me? Anybody else got that? I don't know what you mean. Let you in our Discord. We don't have a Discord, Eddie. We have the community links that I gave you. I'm not sure what you mean by letting me in your Discord. Our Discord is not live yet. Our Discord is down. Some of you are still open. Hopefully, what are you guys on? You probably entered. You probably entered with I got a little bit of better entry than you guys did, probably. What is your exit point on this? Ugh. Oh my God, my nose. Well, you should be done by now. Everybody should be done by now, because if you came in at 70, what? You came in at 70, you should have all been done. What the fuck are you guys 71? Oh, you should all be done. Okay, well, you should all be done. Okay. Good job. Good job. Everybody's done. I think, Colin, the answer is I think they're both very good. Wealth Charts has a couple of very oh, by the way, I really wanted that S&P trade, right? But I didn't quite get it. It's not, the S&P trade actually is not ready yet. Let's see if the S&P, like right now would be my, if I got a green dot in the S&P, that would be my setup in the S&P. But in the meantime, you know what did work was, oh no, it didn't. Oh, the Dow, look at the Dow, look at this piece of shit Dow. This is still not done. Wow. This is why somebody asked me, why don't I trade the Dow or the S&P? Here's your answers. It's really this is the fun part of like doing the marathon trades, is to show you where the best trades are and where the worst trades are. So I'm happy to trade anything you guys want, but you see what works, what doesn't. I mean, these are all, especially on quiet days like today where there's no liquidity and you're going to get slippage execution. These things are just like, because this thing was what? I was looking for 85. How high was this? 84. It just missed my tick. It's typical Dow bullshit. But it's fine. Legit trade. We're still in the trade. Let's see if it floats. Here, perfect. So now I have an S&P possible setup. If this green dot holds, I have a possible S&P setup. So I think the answer to that, Colin, is they're both good. I like Wealth Charts a lot, but they're both good. No. Maybe with Kathy. I don't know, Jim. That's a Kathy question. I have, talk to Kathy. She does the VIPs. Okay. I am. What time is it now? 8:51. I don't know. Maybe you have the wrong. I'm sorry. That's all a Kathy thing. All right, 42 seconds left on the S&P. Let's see if this is going to give us a trade. Nope. Signal goes away. Hey, Fabio, can you, or Santiago, tell me the exact time that you're talking about, and I'll put the NQ and I'll explain to you where it was or wasn't a trade. I don't know which the exact time you mean. Give me the actual timestamp. Yes, you are. My indicator is in TradingView. This is Wealth Charts. But this is TradingView. So I'm trading both. I'm trading in TradingView and Wealth Charts. Okay, you're all good? All right, very nice. Enjoy. 848. Okay, 848. 842, 844. We got done. Got done on this one. Why didn't I trade this one? You could have traded this one. It's not. I was just busy not paying attention. You could have traded this one. We're obviously in a super. I mean, this probably could have been a legitimate trade that probably is not going to work, right? In a sense that we're still in a very, very tight range, and nothing is really breaking out hard to the upside. So like the first trade is the one that I really try to take on the slice, right? You see the slope here is not really sloping up. It's not like it's not a setup, but it's always contextual, right? And you see this. What we really want is obviously in a strong, like here's a strong idea. This one here we go. This one goes. We take the trade, and the slope keeps going up. It keeps sloping up, right? It's not flattening out. We take the second trade. Here, it's really not. It's flattening out. It's not really giving you a good signal. And then also, I'll have a conversation with you guys in coaching on some of the other stuff that this is what I'd be doing something very differently right now. It's a longer conversation. It's a longer conversation for why this would not necessarily be a perfect trade. On the other hand, if we get a good green dot here, that would be a great trade. Like we can watch this now carefully. We have a green slope, right? Actually, I take it back. I really I'd need this candle and one more candle to really make it a strong slope. Yes. Why didn't I go on 842? I did. Oh, why didn't I go? Oh, because I was late. I was paying attention to gold. It wasn't that I passed. This would have been a perfect trade. I was late to the trade. Sorry. It was just it was logistical. It wasn't. There was no reason not to trade this. It was just I was just late to the trade. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't understand your question. All right, so this is a very, very tough trade, right? Because if you look at this, you kind of look through the slope. This is pretty much a green slope. You kind of sloping up. This little red dip, makes me not 100% confident in the trade. But it's a pretty legit setup here. Let's see, by the way, how it's the same shit on the S&P. Gold is up. Gold is up really, really strong. Gold would have been a great trade here. I just missed the gold trade. And I think I'm still floating. I'm still floating Dow. This Dow trade is still floating. So we'll leave it alone. I'm going to be patient. Even though this is a possible trade, you don't have to take every single setup, right? You only want to take the best one. I'm going to be patient. If this is a true uptrend in the next 2 or 3 candles, we're going to get another signal, right? Now, this trade probably is going to work if we took this trade here, 79. All we need to see is like 84, 85 to make this trade work. So it could work, but I'm gonna wait. Oh, look at this. We finally get done on the Dow. Yay, the Dow trade got done. So that was a legit trade, right? It's yet another one. Like, we're basically 18 to 19 legitimate trades on winners against just one legitimate trade loser. I think that's kind of how a good way we need to keep our track is, legitimate setup, really clean setups, winners to losers. I can't do bigger and closer. There's an issue with my computer today. It's as good as you're going to get on the charts, guys. You can see, I can give you like this, but that's about as good as it's going to get. I have some issues with my computer that I need to fix. You guys are seeing, I see the screen pretty well. You guys seeing the screen pretty well? Let me know if you see it. All right, who's new? Who joined us in the last 20 minutes, 30 minutes? Say hello to me. Gloria, how are you? Gloria, are you on the West Coast? I think I remember you being on the West Coast. All right, let's watch the S&P. Although I don't have unfortunately, I don't have a set up an S&P because all the green dots. We need a pause and then a green dot. We need a pause and then ignition. Right now we don't have that. Where's my gold? Oh, gold. Gold has a gold is a signal. All right, let's see what we can do with gold. Let's see if gold gives me a buy signal here. So we missed. So this was a legit signal that we got stopped. Gold had like 6 or 7 legit signals that made it. This one was a legit signal that stopped out. The next legitimate signal was this one. Would have made bank. Would have totally made bank, right? I just simply missed it because again, the key to trading it is you want to focus on just one instrument at a time, right? That way you know exactly when the setups are happening, and you can repair them and do all that stuff. But we're doing lots and lots of different setups because people want to trade different instruments. People want to see how it trades on different instruments. People want to see how the setup works. So I'm happy to show this to you all across the board. But of course, this would have been the proper trade. It would have been right here and would have totally resolved the trade. So right now we don't have a setup. All right, we're getting close. 9 o'clock. We're getting close to the open hour. So let's see. Let's see how it goes. Oh, you're in Georgia. Okay, that's awesome. Where are you? Are you near Atlanta, or are you like in a small town in Georgia? I love Atlanta, man. Some of the best food in the country is in Atlanta. Screens are a little blurry on your side, even at 1080p. I don't even know. That's probably something on YouTube side. It is a little blurry on my side too. I don't know why I'm blurry. I'll be honest with you. I don't know why I'm blurry. No, I'm pretty clear here. I mean, it's a little blurry, but yeah, it's. I don't know why it's not as sharp as it can be, because I am in 1080p. Oh, South Georgia. Very nice. Very nice. It's weird. I got to tell you. So, I'm watching the screen on my PC, and it's a little blurry. On my Mac, it's absolutely, super clean and clear. I generally recommend everybody just, trade from their Mac, because that's a much better. Oh, we might have a setup in NASDAQ. Look at this. So green slope, green setup here. We probably also have a setup in. Yeah. All right, we're gonna hunt the S&P here just for shits and giggles, but it's not even gonna give me a signal. God, I hate this instrument today. It's not giving me a signal. What about NASDAQ? NASDAQ does give me a signal. Oh, I'm late. Okay, NASDAQ, I'm in the trade. Okay, so NAS is a legit signal. S&P did not give me a signal. I think I'm just gonna have to forget S&P as a trade today because it's so flat. But NASDAQ, we're at 84.75 target. Excuse me, 84.75 target. That's where we are on NASDAQ. Where's my S&P? Would that have given me a signal? It actually did give a signal at the very end there. So maybe we'll go here long too. Let's see if we can go. So that's a 40.50 target on NASDAQ. We're in no, S&P, sorry. Wait, hold on a second. Which account am I in? I'm in at 10. MES. Oh, MES. Let me fix this. Okay. Yeah. So I'm in at 75, targeting 40.50 in the S&P. So let's see what the S&P wants to do. Super, super quiet. Look how tight it is. Wow, it's really super quiet. Guys, don't forget to get some Apexes. They still have that massive discount. I literally paid more for my breakfast yesterday than I paid for my $50,000 account. It actually is funny because I went to breakfast with my son because he's here from Florida. We had a diner breakfast. I paid more money for that. Then I came back home. I think I paid like $50 for that. Came back home, bought a $50,000 for $33, and funded it by the afternoon. So there you go. All right, S&P just not cooperating at all. I don't even know what NASDAQ is. NASDAQ is just flat, so nothing going on over there. So we'll see. 75 to 40, 50 on the S&P. Oh, you know what I wanted to see? What are we doing? Don't we have a gold trade? Oh, we had a. Oh no, that's the. Oh, look at this. We could have had a gold trade here that I just simply again missed it because I'm not watching it. But yeah, it's all right. So we're just gonna watch the NAS and the S&P. The NASDAQ looks like we might be dying. This might be the first legitimate miss on NASDAQ, and in which case it's going to be. I'm going to show you how we're going to work the NASDAQ trade after this because I will focus. NASDAQ is my primary trade, and I'll focus on that. The S&P is still fucking around, not doing anything. Yeah, these looks like we kind of died out at the 9 o'clock hour, and not really moving around. So okay, we'll just stay patient here. Okay, if this thing stays red, I'm going to blow it out. Okay, so I blew out of my NASDAQ early, and that's a conversation for coaching. And if you really want to understand why I did all of this, come join me in coaching because it's a very, very interesting approach that I've been doing that really is going to help you win even more. But I'm going to save that for coaching for tomorrow. So I'm leaving that particular trick and all the other stuff for those of you people who want to join me for coaching. So I will leave that for you over there. Yeah, Colin. Oh, sorry, Colin. We had this. The thing was, Colin. We had the tickers on there, but the chart has really moved so much from there that I forgot. So these are the tickers: NQ, and we're trading for 4 points. ES, we're trading for 3/4 of a point. GC, and we're trading for 0.8 of a point. And then YM, we're trading for 10 points. Okay, so I can put this over here. These are all the targets that we have and all the symbols that we have. Okay. Now, if this thing gives me a green dot, I will not go back in. I will not go back in. I'm gonna be patient with this. I'll wait for another setup. But for those of you who may not have come out of this, did not take a small loss in this trade, you probably are okay. I think you're going to be okay on the trade. Let me see if the and the S&P actually TPs. So the S&P TPs, the S&P was actually fine, and I didn't exit the S&P precisely because it didn't give me any problem on the trade. NASDAQ gave me a problem, and I got out of it, and I'll explain to you why in coaching. Yes, sorry. That's what I mean. I closed it out. I blew it out. That's what I mean. I closed it out. Sorry. New York slang. New York slang. Hey, Dennis. Dennis, email me. Did you just sign up right now, or will you sign up? Because if you email me, you may not have filled out a form, or if you did fill out the form, maybe we just missed it. But email me. There's a form you need to fill out, and then I'll enable everything for you. Okay, sounds great, FX Collider. I don't know what you mean, but I'm glad it's working for you. Okay, back to green slope, and now we need to see a green dot, and then we would go legitimately into the NASDAQ trade. But we need to see that green dot. So right now we got nothing. Dennis, if you email me, contact@bktraders.com. Anybody, by the way, if you have any questions, I'm going to put this in here. Contact@bktraders.com. Why is this not working? Let me see if it's coming out there. Any questions, anything else, just email us. The best way to get us organized, to help you out. So just email us. I will take a look and see what's going on there. Okay. Okay. Okay, getting a green dot. Let's see if this gives us a trade. Minute 7, minute 6 left on this. Who's close to getting funded? Anybody running an eval account? Or you guys are all in the funded accounts today? Let me know. I'm curious. Actually, you know what I want to do? Let's do a poll. This is interesting. I want to know. I have. Oops. Answer this poll, guys. It's a yes or no question. It doesn't matter which account you have. I just want to know if you have one. I want to know how many people are trading prop. No signal on the S&P, on the NASDAQ. Answer that poll question, guys, please. And we're just floating with very little movement here. Anything on the pre-market as far as news? Kashkari, ultimately, you cannot fake economic reality. What does that mean? Well, not presidential prejudice, but does not doubt the BLS data. Okay. All right, so Kashkari basically not saying anything interesting, but okay. Nothing much going on over here. Kathy, summary. Stocks up, gold lower. Dollar under pressure. Euro despite weaker retail sales. Leads gains on stronger jobs report. The 4th straight day of gains. Lower average cash earnings. Japan. Okay. 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 Oh, we no. So again, not a perfect setup, right? Not like the problem is I have a red slope in here, and I don't want to be in this trade yet. It's not, I'd rather wait for some confirmation. This may work, but I'd rather just wait. The S&P is a not a bad looking setup. That is actually a legit setup. We can go buy the S&P. So again, we're in the S&P. 4175, 4250 is the exit. The more interesting idea is, we actually could take the Dow. Oh, I missed. I'm sorry, guys. I was kind of frozen in analysis, and I missed the trade. The Dow would have been a legitimate trade too. We could have been in the Dow at like 13, 14, whatever. No, what was the close here? 10 would have been down at 11. Would have targeted around 20, and probably Dow could have would have made the target. Let's see where the S&P is at. The S&P got done. See that trade? I said that was a legitimate trade. The S&P got done. So that's another trade legitimately that got done. No, this is a really good question. Hang on, I'm going to address that, AJ. I just want to see what the NQ is doing. Okay, so the NQ, I let it go. Those of you guys got the NQ resolved very nicely. Good for you. We got the S&P done. I missed the Dow, but you're getting the good idea. If we're sort of looking at legitimate signals now, we have like one in the Dow. Like how many of these legitimate trade signals do we get done? We got wait, what's going on over here? Is this, where am I in? Oh, is this gold? This is gold. I'm confused. Okay, this is gold. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 or 4 in the S&P, one in the Dow. This gold got done. Why didn't I? Oh, I was just late. I couldn't take the gold. Okay, so I can't really count it, but we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minus 1. So like 9, 1, 10, maybe 10, 1 even, if you count gold, S&P, and Dow. It's like 10 legitimate winners, 1 legitimate loser, and then like 10 legitimate winners in NASDAQ, or 8 legitimate winners. So it's like we're basically at around 18-1. Even if you cut, let's just cut it down to like 12-1, just to really degrade the results. It's still a really great session of winning. Even if you're at 12-1, you're way up on your points. You effectively made. I'm degrading this because we're at least, I think realistically we're at 15-1. I can't count all the things because they're in different platforms. But if you're like at 15 legitimate winners, 1 loser, 4 NQ points, that's against 16. You're just where's my calculator here? Like 44. Let's say 40 NASDAQ points on the P&L here. HJ, no. So the great thing about once you get into the funded, you pay just 1 lifetime fee, $140, and you get to keep the account for as long as you want it, or as long as you're able to. But obviously, if you're trading well, you should be able to keep it. So yeah, that's the great thing about it. You get to keep it, for as long as you want it. Scott is $900 away. Good for you, Scott. What are you trading? You trading a $50,000 account? We talked about that. We're going to try and do a special marathon session where I'm going to try and get funded in one day. The answer to that is what you want to do is you want to buy like 10 Apex accounts, which is really the equivalent of buying one, right? Because they're so cheap. And you want to buy them. Like the other thing I was going to tell you is to do this properly, you absolutely want to buy them all at once, because you don't want to be buying, getting margined out, and then buying again. It takes a long time. It takes a few minutes to process. You want them all processed and ready to go, so that the way to do that is, you just get hard, get strong into a trade. If it blows up, you just move on to the next one right away. Find the next move and hit it. Doing it this way, you absolutely can do it in one day. I did it yesterday in one of the accounts. It wasn't quite one day because I started it, I think, on Friday, but like I did literally like 2,500 of it in one day over a couple of hours. You got an M&Q? Sorry, you took the M&Q trade? Okay. I don't have an M&Q. Right now, I don't have an M&Q signal. I would need a green dot signal in M&Q right now to have a legitimate trade for me. Sorry, guys. God, I hate allergies. All right, watching the NASDAQ. Watching gold. I really don't have much on the gold side here. And let's have fun with oh, look at this. Dow is a little bit weaker now. Dow dipped. I just realized when you look at a Dow, if you were just trading Dow, you had a legitimate signal here, winner, and then again a second legitimate signal, because this was no dot right over here at 91. That would have been a perfect winner too. And then this one, you would actually be floating, but this would be actually the third. Remember, I said to you, I'm leery about doing 3. I like to do the first 2 on the slice. But if you took this, it's still a legitimate signal, but it'd be the third one down. So this is 410 against 416. That wouldn't have made the target, but that's where you're at. NASDAQ still slipping. We're at 8 minutes away from the open, so we'll see how it goes. Today was a really interesting day. How do you trade in a no event, no range day and still make money? I think today was a good answer to that in terms of being incredibly selective in our trades and hitting all those winners. 15 winners, 1 losers. Pretty good ratios. NASDAQ slipping to a little bit negative. So let's see what the answers on the Apex poll. All right, 48. So 3/4 of you have Apex. Let's get the rest of you going. Is that because you guys don't trade prop, or you've never tried it? There was a 914. So yeah, the 914 was not a trade. I don't know why you took this trade, because it's a double dot trade. I mean, I'm glad you made it, but it's not a trade according to my setup. You have 2 different accounts in Apex One Trading. Yes, you can. And if you use 2 different, no, you don't need to. No, it's Eddie. You don't need to bother with 2 million. You could have 1,000 Trader Base and 1,000 wealth charts. You just simply, let me. This is a good time. It's kind of quiet. This is a good time for me to show you how do you sign up for an Apex account. Let's do this, and I'm going to show you how to do the discount. This is really, really important. Okay, let's do this. Everybody's here. How do you sign? I'm going to go into my own personal account just to show you how this is done. The only. Hang on a second. Oh, come on. What's going on here? The only thing is they introduced an authenticator now, so I'm gonna have to. We just have to go. Just have to wait a second before I get it. I have to pull up my authenticating password. Just 1 second. 127405. What happened here? 127405. So it's a new security feature. Sorry, I waited too long. 978-288. What's going on here? Oh, I'm in the wrong. Sorry, guys. This stupid thing logged me into the wrong thing. Okay, hang on a second. I'm trying to log into my own personal account, and for some reason, all right, I'll just do it from the BK Forex account. Hold on a second. Hold on. 0908881 0908881. Because it's just a matter of showing you, okay, how do you get accounts? Let's say you want to buy a Wealth Charts account. You click on Wealth Charts, you click 50,000, that's the best account you want to choose. And you wait a second until it delays, and then you simply put BK Save. If you put BK Save, very, very important. If you don't do that, you don't get the discount, right? You can put that in there, and then you hit it, and it will give you an 80% discount. It's actually not going to show it because it's coming in on my corporate account. That's why I want it to come in on my personal one. So let me see if I can. Let me see if I can do it one more time with you guys on my personal account. No, it's just like I'm already logged in. Okay, so but that's basically how you do it. You can hit Wealth Charts, so you can hit Trade Evade, and you can have both on the thing. All right, now we have a possible red setup on NASDAQ. If I get a red dot, because we have a couple of candles red, we have a slope red, and I just need a red dot candle on this trade, and we could have a short. No signal. We're getting a white dot. We need a red dot. So it's going the other way. Let's look at gold, because gold also could have a potential setup for us now, because we got red slope, couple of red candles. All I need is a red dot, and gold could be a sell for us. Well, I don't get that either, so no trades. We'll stay patient here on the move. Actually, you know what? It's 9:27. Let's not do any trades until the market opens. There's no reason to jump into the mouth of the beast. Yes, Wealth Charts has a lower version for anybody who buys an Apex account and chooses Wealth Charts. You get Wealth Charts with it. Yes. Thank you, Daniel, for telling me that it's good instructions, because honestly, I feel like I am just stumbling over myself today. It's kind of a slow day, and my allergies are just killing me. So I feel like I sound like a babbling fool. But I'm glad you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Sorry. Step back. You can't log in more than 2 sessions Apex account to trade ES and NQ in 3 different items. Yes, that's correct. Is this on TradingView, Gatna? Is this on TradingView? Are you on TradingView? If the answer is yes, that's correct. You can only trade one chart. you can only trade one account, one chart. That's a trading view limitation. On the other hand, if you do wealth charts, you can open as many tabs as you want. So that's, there are pluses and minuses to every platform. But on TradingView, you can only log in with one broker and one account. Now, the cool thing about Apex on TradingView is I could literally flip through the accounts like this. I could just flip my accounts like this and change them. But that is their policy. So Scott, I'm sorry, like Scott is freaking out. Scott, tell me what you want to do. And yeah, thank you, Daniel. Scott, tell me what your problem is, and let's see if we can help you fix it. Meantime, we're watching. I really would love to short the NASDAQ, but we're not going to do anything because it's 9:29 on the open. It's really stupid. So we're going to give it a couple of minutes to trade, and then see if there's any setups on the open. Okay. Signal here on the open. A lot of vol on NAS. Minute 16, minute 17. Now, if this thing closes with a red dot, I'm going to trade it. Oh, you want multiple tabs on? Yeah. So, no. So, okay. We're flipping around the other way, guys, and that's why we wait. Because you wanted to trade a different instrument in a different tab, right? Is that what you're saying? Yes, you can't do that in TradingView. You can, however, Colin, you can trade directly through Tradeovate. You can trade directly through Tradeovate. You had a TradingView Tradeovate account. So we don't do anything, Lee. We're just, you see me, I'm not moving. I'm not moving. If you don't see me moving, then I'm not moving, right? I would tell you to trade. What is Fabio saying? Fabio, what are you saying? No trades. That's why we don't move, Lee, because just a big flip on the market open. You can see multiple charts in the same tab. You can do like a divide the screen into 4 different charts and see 4 different trades. So you can do that. Like the way to do that is right over here. You're going to go to this little square. You're going to go like a 4 layout like this, right? And then you could have 4 different charts like this populate. Okay. I just like to use one thing, but you can absolutely do that, and you can trade each different instrument that way. So it's not a problem. You just have to use one, divide the screen that way. Oh, look at Dow really, really blew up here. Dow down 100 points, much bigger move. Dow is actually, Dow is kind of interesting for us to consider as a structure. Oh my God. In America, like literally every phone number has been hacked, and I've been getting so many junk junk threads. All right, nothing on this. Let's see what MNQ wants to. Oh, we might have a trade in NASDAQ. Okay, let's look. So we've been patiently hunting NASDAQ. NASDAQ stays green dot. That's a setup for us. No setup so far. I think I think it's until God. I don't want to say because I think how long is the 80% off sale? I think it's I think it's I'm not sure. Hang on, I'll double check. Hang on. August 14th until August 14th. August 14th. NASDAQ turns negative. And again, look how cool this is. The indicator keeps you out of an unnecessary stop. Just keeps you out of an unnecessary stop, right? Just totally keeps you out of that trade. Oh, let's take a look at the Dow. I'm actually curious. How's the Dow? Dow is not trading it. Dow had just, boom, 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 straight sell-offs. If I get a red dot here, I definitely would want to get short the Dow. We have a sell signal in S&P. 13 seconds. Let's watch this. It better hold. I need it to hold. Okay, so I'm short the S&P. 33.25. Target is 32.50. 33.25. Target 32.50. Let's see where we stand. And 32.50. Come on, baby. Looks like we got done. And we got done on the S&P. Boom. Nice, clean. I think like number 19 or 20, whatever, not consecutive, but legitimate. The word is legitimate. Legitimate trade setup. Legitimate trade setup. Boom. Done. NASDAQ is just kind of quiet. And that's it. All right. You want to know how to trade multiple accounts using a single you can't trade multiple accounts. You cannot trade multiple accounts on a single window. The best you can do is flip through. In other words, I'm in one window and I want to go from 38 to 39. I just I flip over the account. Okay, that's the best you can do. That's just the way TradingView works. If you're trading directly from TradingView. If you're trading from Tradeovate, let me show you. Okay, if you're trading on Tradeovate, I'm going to log into Tradeovate just a second. The thing about Tradeovate is you can have multiple tabs, just like with wealth charts. You can have multiple tabs. So here we go. I'm going to go into Tradeovate. So I have a tab right here. Just give it a second. So here's, the 8 account that's funded. I don't know what it's doing here. I'm going to log in one more time to Tradeovate. I don't know why it's not showing up. Why I'm not seeing stuff. My computer is just, I think this computer is just stressing out because I got too many windows open. But anyways, you can do multiple windows in Tradeovate and multiple accounts. So I can have an 8 account. I can have 8 account in here. I could have the 9 account in here. You can trade them both. Okay, just through different tabs, just like with wealth charts. Dr. D, here's the targets: 4 3/4, 8, 10. Stops I'll go over in coaching with. Dot indicator this is a Tradeovate. Oh no, not on Tradeovate. It works on TradingView. It's not for Tradeovate. No. It works on TradingView. No, forex markets and FX future markets are totally different. Yes, training tomorrow is going to be a lot of fun. Everybody come join me. I'm going to give you a link for one last time. And then we could just, we're going to just, summarize the trades. I mean, I'm waiting to see if maybe I get one more NASDAQ set up, but it doesn't look like looks like we're just really, really flat and tight right now. So there's not much to do. We took the best trade there was, which was the S&P trade. That worked really, really clean. There was also, I don't know if I had a Dow trade. No, I didn't have a Dow trade. Excuse me. But, we have done a lot of trades in a very, very, very quiet market. Well, and that I think is a testament to how good the setup is at this point, how good the indicator is. I don't even want to bother counting because it's just, it's too many, but we're at least 16 to 17 winning trades against just only one legitimate losing trade. And maybe you can count. This was actually a winning trade for all of you, but I myself closed it out. So I guess 1.5. So if I want to be totally transparent about it, 1.5 losing trades against 16 winning trades, which is a ratio, of course, we always want to have. So I will have the coaching tomorrow. everybody go out there, get the coaching if you want it. It's amazing. 6 months, you get the indicator. Otherwise, you don't have the indicator. You can't really trade this. You'll never have the setups the way we have it. I hope everybody who's got it is super happy. So I want to make you happy. So come get it. Come coaching with me. I got to run because I'm actually like I'm running out of my throat and my nose. My allergies are killing me right now, guys. But it was interesting. It was a really good marathon Wednesday, if for no other reason than just the fact that we had the absolute worst kind of market, and we still managed to be 16 out of 1 on trading because the setup was just so good, right? So I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I'll see you tomorrow, regular time. We're going to do probably like 9:30, just 1 hour trade with everybody. And then, of course, tomorrow we're going to do coaching, okay? So everybody have a good time with that. And I will see everybody else. And I'll post the coaching video as soon as I'm done over here. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.